Hi, welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and today I have a guest that to say I've spoken to very little is an understatement. We've spoken one other time before today, and I'll be honest, I love these types of interviews because a lot of times when I have someone on um, that I know very well, it's harder to interview, or not even interview, have a conversation with because I already know so much about them and they know so much about me. Where this guy, I pretty much know what Tony has told me about him. But anyway, let's get to him. This is the host of Geeks Have Game. He's also a co-host on A Toy Kind of Mood. Bobby Behart, welcome to the show. And you know what? I forgot to give you my specials because I was saying so much. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great. I got one more day of work, and then I get my 2 days off. And God knows, you know what? I'm just burnt out.
You get a day off? What?
I get 2 days off, but then I do YouTube mostly. Actually, you know what? If I don't have like reviews to do, I have really separated myself from going in too many lives on the weekends.
Smart.
Even like just staying away because I'm like I need to completely decompress. But if I get a bunch of stuff to review, then I'll sit in and I think is the last week or I think 2 weeks ago, Sunday was literally just reviews all day. Which
I need that. I need that consistency and dedication. I've got like I joked last night. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I've got the 4 turtles from the 200 from the 2000 Super 7. I haven't even opened yet. I got it like a month ago. Still haven't opened. I'm like, oh, I need to do that. I've got this,
so
that.
it's funny because a lot of people feel like I get stuff out really early. And yeah, it helps the channel tremendously. But the whole reason
Yeah.
why it started was I hate looking at toys that aren't open. I want to open them up.
Yeah.
And due to the fact of people kind of like calling me out in my reviews saying that like, oh, he broke that on purpose, I went, you know what? I'm going to show you exactly what it's like out of the box. So you can't open the toy and then go back and review it like a week later because you already have it. You know, people
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, you've already kind of messed around with it and you broke it all in. I want people to see exactly how it is. So that's
Yeah.
basically the main reason why uh, you see them out so early. Because I'm like, ooh, look, new G.I. Joes. I have to open them because it's driving me nuts.
I mean,
So
I've got. Well, that's not big. I need to open that. That ain't
see,
that.
I got home and I had to open that because you know everyone wanted to see that that Psylocke. I'll
It's
tell you what
amazing.
that Thanos is fun, man. That
Yeah. Okay. Like okay. Well, and mea culpa. I got it the day before I left for Comic-Con. So like it was like randomly I went to Target to get my wife something. And like, you know what? Let me just ask if they have any in back. I got the last one. Those in back and never saw it again. I'm like, okay, awesome.
people have been finding them.
It's weird. The distribution is weird. Like
Yeah, it is.
when I lived in Houston, I find stuff that like freaking Spec and a friend of ours like and you know I had found like oh you can't find this. I have like 5 of them, you know. And then I'm like, hey, like my buddy Steve, I'm like, hey, can you just like find this stuff for me and I'll pay you? Like I would get boxes. I get boxes. My wife would be like, what is that? Like, what did Steve buy you this time? I'm like, well, stuff I can't find here in Houston. In Albuquerque, it's now like, oh, I can kind of find it. It's a bit better. Weird.
It is strange. Like the whole distribution is very strange. Again, I've stopped going to Targets because now I'm on the Walmart hunt because we've all seen the Hasbro displays.
I
You've seen them, right?
I have not. I haven't been to Walmart
But
since they
but
did the
but
display.
you've seen them online.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I haven't found one either, and it's
It was
very
really weird.
frustrating.
I saw. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It. I will say this, dude. Moving to Albuquerque, it's sometimes like the most surreal thing. Like I went. There's a Walmart. I have like 4 Walmarts around me, but there's one I go to, So then I walk out and I turn around and there's a mountain. I'm like, oh, mountains. Okay, beautiful.
Do you have a Walmart in the mountain?
Almost, yeah. I'm like, oh,
I
so
went to Kentucky with an ex-girlfriend many, many years ago. It was actually when episode episode 1, I think. I think episode 1 twice had just come out because I found them all there.
oh
Episode
wow.
1 or 2. And this Walmart was like in the mountain. So like
Ooh,
I mean, it probably stuck out maybe like 100 feet, and then it went into the mountain. It was the weirdest, strangest thing
oh,
in
that's cool.
Kentucky. Um, and I've heard other people say they're like, yeah, I have a Walmart that goes into the mountain. It's cool. But again, you are taking beautiful scenery with, sorry people, white trash,
Yep.
and truly
Combining
combine.
the two. I know. I know.
I've never
Yeah.
seen such beautiful white trash before. And sorry to all the people that,
Sorry,
that shop at Walmart, but I just went
y'all.
there today and I went, oh my God, dude. Like, what do they say? Target, the place where you pay a little bit more because it's not Walmart.
It's not Walmart. Exactly. Like, oh, I don't feel like I'm like, okay, I don't wear pajamas here. Okay, there we go. Cool. Yeah.
So let me ask you quickly. Geeks Have Game. Where
Yeah.
does that come from? And because that is your channel that I know that you do.
Yeah. So Geeks Have Game, ironically enough, actually that was Travis's original channel.
Okay.
So Travis Moody and his best friend and roommate Lance, they started that. And
Redship says, Punk, I can't believe you would say something so accurate about my state.
it's very true. Um,
Hey, Walmart's in mountains are something to behold.
it's true. I mean, the architecture to like okay. Anyways,
That's
and that's actually how I met Travis. It was like through a friend of a friend of a friend, and he was like trying to find writers. I'm like, oh, I'll write, and I started writing reviews, and then kind of like let it die. Kept the site going for Comic Con, and then COVID happened, and Trav and a friend do a token of mood, and like they film it, and day 2, he's like, "Do you know how to edit?" I'm like, "I do know." So I've been with the token of mood since day 2.
okay.
So then last year, about a year and a half ago, Trav was like, "Hey, I had a show called Bayou City Geeks that me and a buddy would do in Houston. COVID kind of killed that. I jumped into the token of mood, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to take over GHG?" Which it used to be God Hates Geeks, and it was satirical and it was funny, but we couldn't get any interviews because the minute you mentioned God in any way, shape, or form, everyone's like, "No, no, no, gonna touch it." I'm like, so I told Travis, I'm like,
I
"Hey,
mean, I can see that too, especially God Hates Geeks. Like
exactly.
you hit like all kinds of things to like.
You're hitting like it's like plinko, like you're just dropping down and just hitting every button."
Yes.
So I text Trav. I'm like, "Hey, dude, we need to rebrand." And I sent him everything. He's like, "Oh, this is perfect. Run with it." And so then whenever I took over, he's like, "You just want to run with it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. You do Talking to Mood. I'll do GHG." And GHG is kind of like the mothership of everything. So
Okay. And
yeah,
I did post a link. There are links in the description to your Instagram, which
yeah.
you don't do a lot of Instagram, but
I'm the worst person for social media. I've got like 5 articles I have started, and it sucks because my job it's fun, but it's very like I'm always working. Um, and so I have like all these articles I need to finish and post and post and post. So eventually I will get to like, oh, posting more. I've got to do my whole photo dump from San Diego. I've got to do all those photo dumps, which that was amazing. So
it's
just
people don't realize doing social media. And again, it's not like it's not my career.
yeah,
It takes away from other things in your life, and you have to be willing to, you know,
Mhm.
do you, you have to be willing to do it. And again,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, hey, this isn't making me any money, or not maybe not much money as of right now. Do I really want to put time into it? Because you have other things going on. So I fully get it. And
Yeah.
I had someone else on, and when we got done talking, after we got done filming, he was like, "Do you hate when people say that this is just so easy?" And I was like, I'm not following you. And he was like, when people just come in, it's like all you have to do is hit live and you just talk. And it's like, yeah, it's not really that. It's I know people, and no one cares. And that's what I keep saying. Like, no one cares like how much time I sit in this chair putting work into it. They just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Right. No one cares what Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did for Wolverine and Logan, or Logan or
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. No one cares. They just wanted to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
You didn't care how much effort, how much time it took. You just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great. Just understand we spend a lot of time behind the scenes making things work.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and it does feel good when someone says, hey, you know what, love the show or whatever. And it makes you kind of laugh when people say, like, you're awful. And you're like, thank you for thank you for the watch.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, if love or hate, like if someone's saying something, it's like, oh, you still watched.
The best is when there are specific people that I'm like, I don't think you really like me because you make almost negative comments on a daily with my videos. But to know that I'm in your algorithm, which you probably do not subscribe, but YouTube doesn't care after a while.
No.
You've watched it? Oh, hey, I'm gonna throw this out there, right? And they'll just keep throwing it out. I'm thinking, man, you hate me so much, but this thing is stuck in your algorithm. And for me, I don't watch people that I don't like, but I'll have people send me stuff because, like, hey, so and so was saying this, and you'll click on it, and the next thing I know, they're stuck in my algorithm. Like, son of a bitch, like, all because 2 or 3 people sent me stuff. I don't want them in my algorithm.
Oh, no. It's annoying. It's annoying. Yes.
But hey, that's all part of this wonderful journey that we've all decided to go down, right?
Yeah, I know.
So, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 43.
Oh, you're young. You're one of the young guys then.
Yes.
I mean, Tony's older than both of us.
Oh, I know.
He's like 50.
I give him shit for that.
He's like 50 and stuff. All right. So where did you grow up? What was your family life like? Did you have brothers or sisters?
Okay. So, I always like to say I had dual citizenship. I was born in Austin, raised in Houston, went back to Austin for school, and then came back to Houston for
Wait. You were born where?
Austin.
Like Austin, Texas?
Yep.
Okay, but how's that dual citizenship?
Because if you're in Texas, if you're from Dallas, you're from Dallas. If you're from Austin, you're from Austin. If you're from Houston, you're from Houston. So
Okay.
I was joked that I had like dual citizenship between like Austin and Houston.
I was just trying to figure that out because I thought you were going to say you were born like in Australia or Mexico.
No.
I'm like, wait a minute. And I fully understand.
Yeah.
Again, I tell people I'm from Detroit because if I tell you I'm from Mount Clemens, you're going to go, where's that at? I'm going to say it's like 8 miles outside of Detroit. You're going to say, why didn't you just say Detroit? But I will not tell people here that I'm from Detroit because Detroiters do not like that. And they're like, you're not from Detroit. I'm like, you're right, I'm not. But, just like, Matthew says that he's from Dallas because he's from the suburbs. Because if he tells me what city he's, I'm going to be like, where's that? Outside of Dallas. You should have just said that. So I was just trying to clear that out. I'm like, I'm confused here.
Let's see. Yeah. So born in Austin, raised in Houston. Parents been together since I think it's 40. It'll be 45 years this December. Oldest out of 3, it was me, and then my sister, and then my brother. And my parents always just worked to make sure that we had what made us make sure that we were comfortable. Had schooling was good and everything. So went to private school all my life until I got to college. And my wife likes to joke that my siblings and I were like, and we still are incredibly close. Like we would argue, and then like 30 minutes later, it's like, hey, because I lived with both of them, right? We like my brother and I would get into big fights. My sister and I would get into a fight, and like 30 minutes later, I'm like, "You hungry?" And he's like, "Yeah." You want to get food? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, right? Like it's just it was always something where it's like it didn't matter because we were always raised that at the end of the day, you've got your siblings, and that's it. And so, yeah.
So what's the age difference between you guys?
Um. Uh. Let's see here. My sister. So my sister is 5 and my brother was 6.
Okay, so that's a huge gap when you're a kid though.
And when you're a kid and like it's always funny because my brother when he got older was much more like this like very hippie avant-garde type dude. But when we were younger, especially I think when he was like 7 or 8, he was in gymnastics and so we would fight. So he was 6, 7, I'd be like 12, 13, and he was very flexible. So we'd get into fights and he would cheat and he would pull a Johnny Cage on me and he would do the splits and uppercut me. Oh, dude, he dropped me. There was a few times where he dropped me. There was one time we got into a fight and he dropped me. He jumped up, brought his leg up, and pulled in my spine, and I was like down. And oh, dude, like he got me. Like my sister, I never have to really worry about her because as we got older, she would jump into the fights, and so my sister was the middle child, so she had to fight off me and my brother. We would get into like grappling matches and like headlocks and oh no, she would one of my best friends in college, I mean, still my best friend, but in college, came home one time because we both lived in Houston, and she was, "Hey, Brian," and so I was like punching him in the stomach, and walks off, and she was just being light, and he's like, "Who taught her to punch?" And he had like welts on him just because she's like, "Hey," yeah. So we fought, we make up, and then yeah.
And I don't know how long you did gymnastics for, but I can tell you that gymnasts are some of the strongest,
Oh
best shape, and a lot of these gymnasts. I used to work at a
yeah,
at a gymnastics place, just doing like rec. But a lot of these guys never pick up a weight in their life, but the amount of body weight that they do on the rings, the uneven bars, well, they don't do the uneven bars. That's girls. The parallel bars, the
yeah.
high bar.
Oh,
Obviously, like they are just beasts.
be,
Same with like
be,
wrestlers are, but
before he got sick, my brother, so at my parents' house, they live in Dripping Springs, which is right outside of Houston, outside of Boston. I mean, they have these like giant, like, wooden, like 8x8s across like
yeah.
the patio, the porch, and he would get up there and like finger pull-ups and just like knock them out. I'm like, let me try that. Yeah, I can do pull-ups. I'm like, nope, nope. He's like, yeah, just go up there and just knocking them. I'm like, God. I'm like, God damn it, you make me look bad. So, yeah.
Well, and again, they have that body weight. I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah.
so used to the body weight. And again,
Oh
I used to watch these guys, and that's why the girl gymnasts have like the big, strong, powerful legs. And
oh yeah.
I that's like I, people think I'm weird because I'm like I love girls with like nice, strong calves, not big, huge ones, and
Yeah.
nicely developed shoulders. I know that sounds weird, but
Yeah, I
I'm
get
just
it.
like, yeah. But anyway, so as a kid,
Yeah.
43, so God, you were born in 82.
Yep.
Look at that. Math is good for me today.
Yeah.
So do you remember like the first toys that you played with? Not like the first toys you fell in love with,
Yeah.
but I know like most people my age, we say like Hot Wheels, Adventure People,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Do you remember like the first toys? Because you've becoming in like you might have like memories of a lot of like stuff that we're into now.
I mean, dude, like my first toy, like I've got pictures, or my mom does at least. I was like 2 with like a power sword and the shield. Like He-Man from the jump was my
Okay.
go-to. I mean, of course, I had like the Adventure People, and I had like the little like playful stuff like that. But from the jump, it was He-Man. Like He-Man was my go-to for like the '80s, along with everything else we love.
And
But
you'd be right. I mean, you'd be right there. And I
yeah,
said, like, I think the He-Man figures, Master Universe, they're like the perfect hand-me-down toys.
hmm
Because even though like the arms would get loose or whatever, they just popped right back on.
yep,
There was no thumbs to break. I
nope,
mean, I guess there was a band that could break, but the rubber band really didn't break all that much, not like an O-ring. You didn't have knees that crack, no thumbs, no crotches that crack.
I've
Uh,
got I've got Motu figures that the band still is intact today. I cut them and put in new ones because I was I was rehabbing them. But that was thick rubber, and
yeah.
yeah, like no, He-Man was the first one that, and only sometimes Spec, only sometimes.
Here comes one of your well, it was one of your partners and one of my partners also on a different
Yes,
show, Toy Optics Spec saying Bobby has a crotch that cracks.
it does. Actually, my hip flexors, I do have to like pop them sometimes
Oh,
from
me,
track.
don't even get me started. I'm
Um, which is funny. I told my wife about about Circle of Jerks, and she was working. She goes, "What is?" I'll go Circle of Jerks. She goes, "Oh my god, of course." I'm like, "Of course that's the name." I'm like, "Yep, yep."
It did
um,
basically come from the circle jerks though. Like it kind of like we talked about the whole circle jerks and then Spec his I don't know his accountant his own like his accounting firm or whatever that he uses.
yeah.
He can tell you is owned by I believe the drummer of the circle jerks.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know this.
yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, there's like a whole story, and we started with we didn't call it because we were something completely different, but then it
Yeah.
just became Circle of Jerks, and then everyone gets a cookie, and then everyone gets a cookie. That's when Spec started really like shining. Like I tell Spec all the time, I'm like, I thought you were like the boringest fucker in the world, and you have like
No.
this personality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Once he started doing all those AI stuff while we're on air, that's when we were like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Oh,
Like
they were great. I know. I know.
the calendars that he was like. Anyway, this ain't about Spec. I had him on. Um, so you remember like your like the Master Universe. So what was the first toy line that you remember falling in love with? Was it He-Man?
I think it was either He-Man or Ghostbusters,
Okay. Are
because
you a big
like,
Ghostbusters fan?
oh yeah,
Okay. I
oh
didn't know that.
oh dude, like, um it- there was, okay, I grew up, and it was a really amazing time because I had He-Man, Ghostbusters slash Real Ghostbusters, and Ninja Turtles, and they all came out like my childhood, and these are like, oh my god, like I have to have this. And then Ghostbusters, dude, the first Ghostbusters, and even to a lesser extent the second one, uh I was at home, this was like 15 years ago, like Christmas time, and my mom and my brother were watching Ghostbusters, and I was at the computer working, and I had my back to the TV, and I was like going like reciting line by line with the movie, and I just hear like these two like leather sound, like the sound of like people turning in leather, going like looking at me. I'm like, I might have seen the movie a few times. Just, oh, it's up there with like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I've just seen it countless times.
I've
Yeah.
seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think I've only seen one Indiana Jones, and I've seen it once.
I've seen
It
Raiders.
became a huge running joke. I guess it still is. I think I don't know. Someone tell me which one did we watch for Punk's End film? I think it was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Was
If
it?
Matthew was here, he'd tell me because him and I are the ones that watched it and then talked about it.
Love Raiders. Raiders
I
and
just
Last. Love it.
it makes no sense because like it's one of those Indiana Jones, like everything that you see, it's like it's something that I would be interested in.
Yeah.
But I never watched it as a kid, and then as time went on, I just never sat down. So it just kind of becomes one of those things where it's like I feel no need to go back and watch it.
You have to.
And when I watched Raiders, I was not. I'm just like, because so much stuff passes by. Same with Goonies. I'd never seen Goonies. We watched that for Punk's on Film, and I was like, I think if I would have seen it back in the 80s, I would have loved it. But watching it now, I have no affection for it. But you turn on the BMX movie Rad, and I'm hooked. You turn on Midnight Madness. I don't even know if you know what Midnight Madness is. I'm hooked. Midnight Madness is Michael J. Fox's first movie that he was in.
What was it?
Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
It's Michael J. Fox's first movie that he was in. He's not even a star.
Really?
He was Michael Fox. Didn't even have the J yet.
Wow. Okay.
Disney won't even produce it anymore. It's so hard to find.
Okay. I'm just gonna find that. Okay. But yeah.
It's just for some odd reason I just never. So it became a running joke for sure.
No, I love.
Gun Bunny has seen Midnight Madness.
I never even heard that film. Okay. I'm.
It's amazing. Amazingly bad.
Also, my wife had never seen Clue, and so I made her watch it one night.
I've never seen Clue.
Oh, dude.
If Matthew was here, Matthew would be like, "You've never seen anything." I'm like, I've seen a lot of movies. There's so many that I never got into.
Clue was one of those films I think I watched when I was a kid. That and Ghostbusters kind of like informed my humor, like how I would say things. And so, like Clue, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack. Oh, amazing!
Never seen Caddyshack.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I know. There's certain movies like that I've just never. Caddyshack was based on golf, and I could care less about golf. And I know it has nothing to do with golf. I mean, I know it's based around it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of movies that I regret not seeing at the movie. Something About Mary. I refused to see it. And then I finally saw it, and I went, I was wrong.
Oh, I love.
I do. Something About Mary. I love that movie. And it's one of those ones that at the end, you go, how did I not know that was Brett Favre? They do everything but say that it's Brett Favre in that movie.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
In high school, I went, and luckily late 90s for me was like a gold mine of movie going experiences, and so I was at the movies every weekend.
The 90s, yeah. But that was I don't know why in the 80s just a lot of things just passed me by, and I never.
My let's see here. Top Gun, Young Guns 2.
I love Young Guns. Young Guns 2 is so much better than Young Guns.
It really is. It really is. And it's also like Young Guns is good. Don't get me wrong, right? But Young Guns 2, I think has a better story. The Bon Jovi soundtrack.
Yes.
And they're filming part 3 right now.
I know.
Right.
I hope it's good.
Oh, I know. I am too. I pray it's good.
Either be really good or really bad that it's so bad that it's good.
Man, I don't know. Young Guns.
But yeah, I did hear Emilio talking about how they finally came to the script. They've wanted to do it. He's wanted to do it forever. He's bringing back Lou Diamond Phillips. Yes. They're going to explain that. I believe, what's his face? I
think Christian Slater.
I think, is coming back.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I actually got to meet Lou Diamond Phillips uh 3 years ago. Wonderfully nice dude. Holy crap. Such a nice dude. That's really funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Manhosa saying that's like saying I don't fish. I never saw Jaws. Again, I didn't say that it was. I didn't say that. I didn't say that the thinking made any sense. Just that's what it was.
I'm not saying it's logical. I'm saying, okay.
And when
So
you go back and watch some of those movies that you
yeah,
missed, they're not as good because now you see the difference in them, right? Like it's like, oh yeah. But back in the day, and when you think about the jokes and everything, it made sense when you watched stuff back then.
yeah,
So
I'll give you that.
yeah. So Toy Opt, yes, Slater and Lou Diamond Phillips both did die, along with
Kiefer Sutherland and
I believe they're all coming back.
so here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. We don't actually see Christian Slater die because the character he played does die in Mexico. Like that is true. However, Emilio did say that this is kind of like an alternate timeline because it's what if Billy the Kid didn't die that night? So it's like an alternate timeline. So
okay,
I'm cool with that. Let's do this.
Just make it fun. That's all I care. You know what? If I go there and I'm entertained, then I'm happy.
That's all. I'll just let me have a good Western. Okay.
Yeah. So quickly. So let's go back to you said Ghostbusters, Motu, like all because you're like right in that. Yeah, see, you're right. You'd be right in that age. What about Turtles?
Oh, dude, I still have most of the brothers. I don't know where the rest of the figures went. I've got my sewer. I've got my original turtle van, and then my wife for Valentine's Day got me the replica, which I was like, I put it together and put it behind me. What's up, GI Jetman? I love that beast. Yeah, I had the Technodrome, which I sadly sold, but I'm gonna try and get that back. The turtles, like the cartoon was amazing. Like, and I got to meet Rob Paulson and tell him how much I love the turtles. The turtles again were like the He-Man figures in that they were hard as shit to break. You couldn't break them. They were just a chunk, this really great chunk of plastic that, I mean, they're so much fun. And so, like, that's why I think, what's up, Tony? That's why I've got like the Super Sevens, and I've got the NECA, and I've got the different iterations of them because they're great, and I read the comics because I love the turtles. So yeah,
like Turtles, Ghostbusters, not the Ghostbusters the movie, but the toys.
Yeah,
like that was that was on my way out. I found skateboarding. That's what I cared about. The Ghostbusters never interested me at all. Like the real Ghostbusters, like the cartoon. But I was GI Joe. Like I had a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
and I had Transformers, Thundercats, Master of the Universe. But the reason why I have so much GI Joe, is because that's what I wanted. And I think if I would have wanted Motu, I would have had Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I was, GI Joe, and so that's what I got. I got the flag, I got the Terradrome. I have all this stuff, and it's my childhood stuff. I know. Let the chat start. Oh, you had a flag. I didn't know. Yes, guys, I had a flag.
But dude, that's how I am. I have Eternia.
Yeah. And again, if I would have been into Motu, I bet I would have had Eternia. I don't ever remember ever even seeing Eternia.
Dude, I don't honestly like. I've seen very few Eternias. I've seen
very few have survived the track, especially the track.
Oh yeah, the track. The reason why most of it is still intact is that I left it at my grandmother's, and she was in Pennsylvania. And when she moved back to Houston, she brought me Eternia, but Eternia, like, she had like, kind of like broken it down, put everything in a box, and said, boom, intact. So I would say my Eternia is about 75%.
Are the tracks still together?
The tracks are still there.
Wow.
I know.
That's the biggest thing right there. That is the biggest. Biggest thing right there. Allison Troy says the track broke in our childhood one on Christmas morning, straight out of the box.
Oh, that sucks. No, mine worked. Mine. I had like little like the little thing around it. Flag turning out like that. I like that.
Can you get an AI version of that for Circle the Jerks there?
There you go. Spec.
So as you're getting a little bit older,
Yeah.
and I don't know how you said you were in private school, but we went from fifth grade, fifth to sixth. I know that's how math works.
Yeah.
But you went from elementary to middle school.
Yeah.
And I find in middle school, that's sixth, seventh, and eighth there. That's when you're still kind of playing with toys, but you're not letting people know.
Exactly.
Like that?
100%.
Now at that time, you're talking, you probably have your brother's probably coming right into that time. So you can use him as an excuse that, hey, these are my brothers. I have to play with him. Are you doing anything like that? Or did you start to put everything away?
I was actually still a pretty proud geek. I actually said I kind of had this like screw it mentality. Because like for me, I was playing football, right? Junior high, I played football, and soccer, and around fifth grade, still Totally Turtles, and then junior high, it's when X-Men comes out, and luckily, because of the comic books and the cartoon, like my friends were still kind of like, okay, well, that's cool, that's okay, right? And I'm like, yeah, like because for me, they all knew I was kind of the geeky TV kid. I was kind of like a TV nerd, so they were like, okay, that's Bobby's thing. So
yeah.
So X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, like my brother and I were like, yes.
And again, like your brother, you said 6 years younger than you.
Yeah.
So you have a built-in, like if there's toys in your room, you go, my little brother brought them in here. But if your friends are understanding of that, then that, that's it kind of, it never really gets mentioned.
No,
I always say like, I wasn't really collecting toys when I got into high school, but I was a skateboarder.
Yeah.
And we were the bottom of the barrel, especially at that time.
Yeah.
So my friends, one was in the Star Wars. The other one he went on to be a chemical engineer that teaches nuclear. He teaches submariners what to do if there's a nuclear meltdown on their sub. So he's we weren't none of them were going to make fun of me for having my G.I. Joes out. Like we were already at the bottom of the barrel. Right. So you have a built-in.
I had the buffer.
Yeah. That's a good term, a buffer. I've never.
Yeah. There you go. I
gotta remember that one, a buffer. So next time.
And what in high school, I was still getting some figures because I was mainly Marvel, because Marvel had some Toy Biz had some cool stuff, but I had really gone from like toys, like really into comic books, like comics and movies.
And I do find a lot of the people I talk to when they get into high school, if they're still collecting toys, and a lot of them stop, but they either stick with comics or they get into comics because that's reading.
Yep.
It's also much easier to hide. You stick them in, no one wonders. Like you go to a comic book store, you buy them, you slide them in the box, hide them in your drawer.
Yep.
Like no one ever really sees. And if someone does, you go, hey, I just like reading the story. No one thinks too much of it, unless if you have a stack of them. Then you're then you might get beat up in your own bedroom.
The binder. It's in the binder. It looks like it's schoolwork. Like, oh no, that's schoolwork. I know.
So when you're in high school, what else are you doing? You said you got into comics. Are you still playing football? Are you doing sports, music, anything like that?
So high school, like anybody in high school, you're trying to figure out who you are. And high school,
speak for yourself. I already knew I was a prick.
I'm an asshole. This works for me.
I'm a punk rocker and a skateboarder. I am a prick. 49. I'm still that prick.
High school is when I really started becoming sarcastic. I had the it was always funny. Like my humor now, everyone gets. In high school, no one got the sarcasm. Like, no, I'm
Yep.
not. I'm being an ass to you, man. I'm being sarcastic. Do you not get this? Okay, never mind. High school is I was the football. I was a football trainer. So actually, I went to like TCU.
So we need a
Uh,
football trainer.
like wrapped ankles, wrapped backs. Had the
So
water. Like
so you weren't playing?
I
And
played my I played my freshman year
okay.
because going to an all guys school, you had to learn football. You had to play football pretty much your freshman year, so you knew who to hate or like.
Okay.
Um, and then let's see, freshman. Okay, freshman year was football. Sophomore was football trainer. Junior year was football trainer, soccer, track. And then I was going to try for football again, but then the other trainer was a lazy ass. So I went from playing football senior year to being a trainer, and then for some godforsaken reason, I did track again my senior year. I'm like, I'm leaving this. Why am I doing track again? Like this is ridiculous. But in high school, I got a drum set. My parents gave me a drum set when I got into high school, and
Does your parents hate themselves?
they
Here's a
they
drum set. We hate ourselves.
uh it
Unless
was
if they were musicians themselves.
I it was that's my mom actually played like music like
Okay.
in high school, and my dad both my parents like love music. I think more so than movies. Like
Okay.
they like music is like what we kind of grew up on, right? It's I joked because I officiated my sister's wedding to her husband. I said, our religion is music. Like what we believe in is like gods of rock and roll, basically, right? And so, like and the rule was I got an hour after school to play drums, right before dinner. Like you can play
Okay.
your drums, so I was like learning the rudiments and all that good stuff. And then I started writing. Like high school, I learned a lot of. I'm like, okay, I play drums. I'm writing. I read comics, and then on the side, every now and then I'll grab a toy. Like I'm usually X-Men. And then it was like, okay, I don't want to I need to get a girlfriend. So I'm gonna like I really, really went into movies, right? I really got into movies.
Okay.
I was Blockbuster had the AFI 100, so I was like going through that. I was like checking. I was like going like to the freaking like 1940s, watching like Psycho. Well, that's 50s.
And you did this for like to meet girls?
uh to be interesting, right?
Okay.
But I did it to like try and like find something that I'm like, okay, what am I passionate? And it was movies. It
Okay.
was like because I enter in the screen to film festivals every year, and I'm like, okay, I need to find something that makes me like not just another douche. And for me, it was like, oh, I love movies. Like this is amazing. Like
Yeah.
the three movies that I say made me want to make movies were Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, and Clerks.
I've
You
seen all
know,
of those.
oh good. He's like, I have seen these.
Although Jurassic Park, it took me quite some time because I had no interest in dinosaurs.
Oh my god, I saw that. I saw that on the big screen, and as a kid, seeing that on the big screen, it was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like it was like it. There were moments where you like it's like I call them like religious moments. Like oh my god, this right? And like that Jurassic Park, like my wife and I will like if we're bored, like what are we doing? I don't know. Jurassic Park. Okay, we'll put on Jurassic Park, right? Like I was like, I
Wow.
read. Oh, thanks, GI. Like I'm hopefully I will have more videos out soon. But yeah, like, I read Jurassic Park in junior high. Like I read Michael Crichton. Like I read a bunch of Michael Crichton and John Grisham in junior high. But like movies were like where I like found like oh this is what I should be doing, and so I haven't done yet. But we'll get there
Oh,
eventually.
no, that's I mean that's awesome. Like I'll say this, like I Terminator 2, I love that. Clerks, I didn't see right away. I saw Clerks because of Mallrats.
Mallrats is great.
I saw Mallrats because when I was delivering medical supplies, I was at someone's house. There was a commercial on, and the Mallrats commercial came on.
Yeah.
And I went, "That's Jason Lee." Now, mind you, I know who Jason Lee is because he's a professional skateboarder.
Yes.
And this is well before the internet, so you didn't get on your phone. You didn't go home, and I had to search and figure out that, oh, he's retired from skateboarding, which no one really retires from skateboarding if you love it, right?
You're right.
And that's how I found Mallrats. So Mallrats will always be my favorite. No matter, it doesn't matter what he does. Mallrats will always be my favorite of all the
VOSQ?
What?
The VOSQ universe?
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
No, that will always be my favorite. Plus, I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Yeah,
Mallrats is great. It was because Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and then Jane and Silent Bob Strike Back. And Dogma's, I love Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is great. Dogma's like his first 4 films are great.
Chasing Amy.
I love Chasing Amy.
When they're in the hockey arena, and he's trying to hint at what's going on.
Oh yeah,
the finger cut. And Dogma is that very rare, serious film in comedy form.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can look at it in 2 different ways. You know, you can look at it in completely 2 different ways. You know, the way that comes out. And again, you can watch it as a comedy, or you can sit back and be like, this is a real movie.
Yeah.
Wrapped in comedy. And again, I don't want to say like Mallrats isn't a real movie, but Dogma is something very special, and I don't think it was ever meant to be that special when you actually look at it.
No,
and Buddy Jesus is awesome.
I love Buddy Jesus. Like, how'd you know the club was blessed? Because he's that type of asshole that would bless his clubs.
And Alyssa, what's her name? Morissette.
Oh, Alanis Morissette is God. Yeah. Loved it. Loved it. And Spectre's right. The Clerks trilogy, Clerks 3. I actually cried at the end of it. Clerks 3 was something that I actually like legit like. I dragged my wife to see it. She had no desire to see it. But she's like, I'll go see it for you. And we went and watched it. I was like crying at the end. I'm like, oh Christ. So yeah. Buddy Christ is great.
I mean, you have Buddy Christ, and then the other one is Baby Jesus. So it depends on which one you want to worship. If you want to worship Baby Jesus from Talladega Nights,
6-pound Baby Jesus.
All right.
If I want one of my kids to be pansies, I'd name them Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman.
That I know a lot of people don't like Will Ferrell. I don't get it. I think it's hilarious. My old best friend and my kid's mother, before we had kids, we went and saw Anchorman, and she didn't laugh at all. She'll laugh now at it. She didn't laugh at all, and we had tears in our eyes. And I specifically remember being in the movie theater when they were calling from his office to Cornerstone, and she looks over, and we're dying. And my ex was like, "This isn't funny." I'm like, "This is hilarious." They're looking at
the hair or face, obviously. Like, this is brilliant.
So no, go on.
I was gonna say Step Brothers, I think, is criminally underrated.
Step Brothers is one of those ones I did not see right away, but as we went back and watched it, it was also awesome to watch Adam, Shark Eyes, create a Step Brothers using Speck and Matthew Matson, who, if you know, they had a long-standing feud.
Oh no, I was on those shows. I was on those shows. I was going, God, oh shit. Oh, I like typing. Like, oh, yeah.
But you know what? They've come to an understanding. I don't think that. I don't know if they're ever going to
What
do
are
a
you
show
doing? I'm burying you.
together. But so as you graduate,
Yeah.
what do you go on to do? Do you go on to college? Do you go right into the workforce?
So after I graduated, went to UT. Went to UT as a so UT said this thing. It was
Now,
basically a week.
University of Tennessee.
How dare you? No, there's only one UT, and that's the University of Texas. So
Oh, you like burnt orange? I have really bad. That year that they ran all over Michigan, because I'm not saying they would not have won, but Michigan quit when they realized they weren't going to be in the national championship, was one of the most disappointing, most disappointing bowl games I've ever watched.
Are you talking about the Rose Bowl in 2004?
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah. Oh my God, when we won by the field goal.
But Vince Young, like, I just remember watching him going, like,
Vince.
I mean, he wasn't going to be stopped, but at the same time, it looked like they weren't even trying to.
I actually have I have it packed away at my parents' place right now because we don't have a house, but I have I have the national champions, like the whole team on a UT helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
I mean, you had Peyton Manning. I'll give you all that.
But you know what? Peyton Manning has an issue with. Where's it at? Because in Tennessee, people hate Michigan because they think he should have won the Heisman, and people go, listen, he can never beat his rival. And Peyton Manning's my favorite. Well, he's probably my favorite quarterback of all time.
Same.
As a pro.
Him and Joe Montana. Yeah.
Yeah, he could not beat. He couldn't beat Florida.
Nope.
And Michigan went on to win the national championship. And I don't care what anyone says, Charles Woodson deserved to win the Heisman Trophy that year.
I can't argue that, right? I can't.
I don't think he was good. Like, anyway.
Well, I mean, that's the same way. Like, I don't think Reggie Bush should have won. I think Vince should have won, but they gave it to Reggie Bush. Fine. Reggie Bush was a great running back. I can't argue.
Yeah, but then they take it away from him. They give it back.
They did give it back, and the thing was, like, they asked Reggie Bush, how do you feel about Vince? And he goes, Vince is my ride or die dude. Like, after it was taken away, they go, Vince, you were second. Do you want the trophy? He goes, no, I didn't win that. Reggie Bush won that fair and square. It is his. And Reggie said, I will never forget that he did that.
And I'll say this, like, this is one of those things, and you'll understand because you're a college football player. I'm a college football fan.
Yeah.
When I listen to people say Michigan cheated to win that last national championship, and they deserve to have it taken away, I just go, you can take it away all you want. I watched it happen. It not only did it happen, it is the only time that I've brought people on my Monday show because my dumbass thought I could watch the game and do my Monday night show. No. And even though it was out of hand, I mean, it was over very early.
Yeah.
There was, I'm like, all right, I should have just canceled the show. I shouldn't have done it. And well, I don't need to worry about him being in the national championship for a while, but
look, Michigan could come back. I mean, they're not going to, we've got, look, it's the season of Arch, right? I am stoked for this. I cannot wait. 2 more weeks, and we got Ohio State. All gas, no bricks. Let's go.
I am not one of those people that celebrates when the team that I hate loses. I'm not that person.
Depends on the team. If it's the Sooners, oh, I'm reveling in it.
Okay, so if Ohio State wins and Michigan loses, it doesn't make or I'm sorry, if Ohio State loses and Michigan loses,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't feel better,
Yeah.
but I also won't root for them to win.
Yeah.
To sit there and say that the national championship game between Notre Dame and Ohio State, I've never wanted Meteor to hit a stadium so bad.
I've been there. When Oklahoma played Bama, I'm like, come on, black hole. And it's in Dallas, come on, black hole. Open up. That you find new things about me, exactly.
But I know people they think Michigan cheated, but just remember this, guys. Michigan retired Saban.
Look,
Michigan ran him out of Michigan State because he couldn't stand being second fiddle.
Yeah.
Then he went on to be the greatest college football coach of all time, and he is. But his career ended by the hands of Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, and they weren't cheating at that time because they weren't allowed to anymore.
You weren't allowed to. That's good. That was good.
Now we're on sports ball, and like I said, I go on and on, but I know people will be like, "Oh, not sports ball." Although we got some guys here. 610 saying I pull for Michigan against OSU every year. The Vols record against Michigan is pretty even.
I can't fucking stand Ohio State. There's just something. There's like this it's like Bama. Like, and I get Bama. Don't get me wrong, Bama's great. Like they were great. Not anymore, hopefully. But it's just like the cockiness, like these assholes, like God, like Bama, Oklahoma, OSU.
See, that's what people say about Michigan. People try and say Michigan is very arrogant, and Michigan fans are. And it's mostly the people that didn't go to Michigan. But here's the other thing that what people don't realize, and I think this is what makes a lot of people mad when it comes to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
If Michigan isn't doing well, Ann Arbor is right outside of the Metro Detroit area.
Yeah.
So if we're not doing well, maybe the Red Wings are doing good. Maybe the Lions are doing good.
Yeah.
Recently, normally they're not. Maybe there's other things to do.
Yep,
and there are those people that will say, oh, Michigan State's much further away. But Alabama, they have nothing else.
They have nothing.
Ohio State, they have nothing else. And a lot of the SEC teams, they have nothing else.
That's true.
So the arrogance of, and this is why when people, like anytime someone says like a California team is like the best, they're like, dude, they don't care. They have sun. So if they're losing, it's like, hey, no big deal.
We'll go to the beach. Exactly.
And I'd probably feel the same way too.
Yeah. Like in Austin, when we had a bad year, like I'm gonna go to the lake and I'm gonna go kayaking, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go like, I'll go go hiking, I'll go do something else. Yeah, that's fine. So after high school, I go to college. Actually went to ACC for a bit and then transferred into UT.
And what did you study?
I got my major was American politics. My minor was radio, television, and film.
Okay.
And then after that, I worked at the Capitol. I was an assistant sergeant at arms. That was I like that. That was one of the most fun times because working at the Capitol, basically you have a bunch of people left and right, and you go, you know what? When we get off, 2, do you want to go drink? And then we'll go home, shower, sleep, and then go drink some more. Like, let's do this, right? It was like we had like pool parties. It was insane. So during college, there was a comic book shop, So this is early 2000s. This is 2000, 2005. I had a comic book shop on campus, but also I had Tower Records. And Tower Records, for those who don't know, used to be an actual record shop, had CDs, but they had really cool off-the-wall toys.
Okay.
So they had like the Sin City toys. They had the Tick, right? Like the one with Patrick Warburton. I had that figure for a while.
So I know Tower Records. I don't think we had Tower Records here. Was it like a media play at the time? Did you guys have media play?
No, we didn't.
Okay, because media play was kind of like Best Buy if you took out all the electronics. You had all the movies, you had all the CDs,
And that's how, that was how.
and then
Okay,
you had like collectibles that were like
yes,
mixed within that.
yes.
Okay.
And Tony's right. Yeah, Scarface. Like, they had all these figures. So like, all right, so I had it wasn't McFarlane. I forget who made it, but I had a Neo and a Morpheus figure. I had the Tick. And I was still getting like Marvel Legends, and then that was kind of like, but I was mainly comic books. There's a few figures here and there.
Okay.
Some McFarlane figures. So I did the sports figures, and then but comics were like my bread and butter. Yeah.
Yeah. So the McFarlane Sports, those were a little bit bigger than the starting lineups, correct?
Correct.
And then they were just stationary stuff. Because I'm thinking back, because I think of a lot of the goalies. I remember they had the Steve Yzerman, they had Sergei Fedorov.
Yep.
Matter of fact, when we were at Joe Fest, they had a starting lineup Sergei Fedorov at the one comic book store or the one toy store we went to. Top Dog. Was it Top? What was it called, Tony? Top Dog Toys. Anyway, and there was a layer of dust on it. Because first off, you're in not Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
You're in Augusta, Georgia, which is hot. I don't think hockey's big on their thing.
I don't know either. Yeah.
And you're talking about Detroit, and so there's this, and I almost bought it because like $10. I'm like, I bet next year it'll still be there next year. I can get it anywhere.
True. You should be like, I'll give you 5, and you're like, sold. Jesus, get that out of here.
But there was a layer of dust, and I laughed. And they did have they probably had about 5 or 6 different starting lineup hockey players there.
Yeah.
Because I had a few of the Detroit Red Wings, especially like Yzerman and stuff like that. The Hall of Famers. But yeah, it's those kind of make me laugh. Like there's just a layer of dust. I'm like, no one's probably moved. Like they moved since the year before, but they probably were like, there you go, just move it here.
Yeah. I have all the Houston sports McFarlane figures. All
right. So we're gonna go a little off topic quickly.
Sure.
You and I know you are a Houston fan.
Yes.
What about the Oilers when they moved to Tennessee? When they moved,
and I say this with all love and respect for anyone from Tennessee. Fuck the Titans. Because here's the thing. Here's where, if you ask anyone from Houston, right? The Oilers got moved to Tennessee because Bud Adams didn't want to play. Didn't get his stadium built. All right. Now here's why anyone from Houston will always spit on Bud Adams' grave. When the owner of the Browns moved the Browns to Baltimore to create the Ravens, he left the Browns with Cleveland. Bud Adams retired Houston, the Oilers. So Houston could never have the Oilers again. So whenever like, well, they're like, oh, well, Earl Campbell is a Titan. Fuck no, he's not. He's an Oiler. He's from Houston. No, Love You Blue is Houston. That's why I love what U of H does. U of H gives the NFL a big middle finger because they were the Oilers blue during the season, and I love it. Yeah.
So as many people know that Michigan and Ohio have their own rivalry.
Yeah.
It's fun when you meet a Browns fan and you go, no, you guys have won like 2 Super Bowls. It was just in Baltimore.
Oh.
And you want, and like that, I mean, it was that franchise.
Yeah.
The franchise that you have is not what was there before. That franchise moved and instantly won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Almost as fast as the Avalanche when they left being the Jets to go to Colorado won the Stanley Cup.
and that's one of those things where like, luckily, that almost happened with the Oilers.
Or, I'm sorry, the Nordiques before the Jets became the Coyotes.
Yeah,
which now became.
Oh, that's right. The Coyotes changed their name. That's right.
No, the Coyotes moved. They're in Utah.
That's weird.
Yeah, they moved to Utah.
I know nothing of hockey, so I will not even try to speak. And also, Tony, Dallas is not better than Houston.
But see, okay, but this here, Tony, here's the Dallas is a storied franchise. It's been around forever, and Houston is a new franchise. So to say that, now, if you said Dallas is greater than Detroit Lions, then you have an actual argument. All right, because they are they've both been around forever. Although Dallas did have to copy the Thanksgiving tradition.
Well, and also like I give Tony this shit like every season. I'm like, when was the last time you won a playoff game?
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
I mean,
Toy Biz was still making Marvel Legends.
When you look up and you go, oh, hey, the Detroit Lions have now won more playoff games than you. That says a lot.
Considering you shitting the Cowboys, yay! This makes me happy.
You know the story about the Tony Romo story, right?
Which one?
Before I ever met Tony?
No.
So before I had ever met Tony, Travis was going to have me on the show.
Yeah.
I'd actually never done a live stream before. So Travis had asked me to come on, and so he's messaging me stuff.
Yeah.
And he said he was watching the Patriots game. And I go, oh, that's too bad, Tony Romo. And he comes back and he goes, dude, don't talk about him like that. And I was like, dude, fuck, Tony Romo's awful. And he's like, dude, man, that's one of our boys. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but he is awful as an announcer. And he goes, oh, he goes, you're talking about the announcer. I'm like, you said you were watching the Patriots game and Tony Romo was doing the game. And he goes, no, one of the guys we're going to be on, like one of the Toy Kind of Mood guys that we're going to be on is Tony. His name's Tony Romo, and he's a Dallas fan. I'm like, holy shit. Funny thing is, I thought KJ was Tony.
Speaking of KJ, it's funny because whenever you do, hell yeah, whenever we do the shows, we all look about the same height. KJ is tall.
I know. We've discussed this. I didn't realize how tall he was, so I had him on the show, and then I asked him, and I was like, "Holy crap, you really are." Yeah.
No, the first one I remember at Comic-Con, he was sitting on the floor, and I'm like, "Hey, KJ," and he gets up, and I was like, "Christ!" He goes, "What's up, dude?" I'm like, "Hi," like, yeah, he's tall, yeah. So yeah, so.
Hi, it's me. Says Detroit Lions. We're Hall of Famers. Quit the game early. The franchise is just that depressing. You are absolutely 100% correct. Not anymore. Not anymore. But when Master Ford owned it, and now I know his daughter owns it, but she runs it completely different. And believe me, we call it Master Ford because everyone needed their cornbread. Like, it became a whole running joke.
And y'all shouldn't. Y'all had. Stafford's a great QB. Y'all had Megatron, like right then and there. Like,
when you would tell people the Lions have only won one playoff game in 60 years, they'd go, "Bullshit! You had Barry Sanders," and we go, yeah, we know.
Barry is my number one.
He's the greatest running back of all time.
He's amazing.
He's the greatest pure runner of all time. And I know what Tony's gonna say. It's not Emmitt Smith.
No.
Okay. Emmitt Smith may have the record. He's just holding Barry Sanders' record, and everyone knows it. Right? If Barry would not have quit, and Barry quit, he did not retire. I don't care. He quit.
I will 100% agree with that.
But he would have put that so far out of reach, especially how running backs are today. But as a pure runner, not as a pure player, but as a pure runner,
yeah,
he was the best.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest blocker, wasn't the greatest pass catcher, but dude, that
No,
guy.
Barry. For me, it's Barry, in no particular order, but Barry, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Earl Campbell, and then I'll put Emmett up there.
I think I'm not putting down Emmett because Emmett was great.
No, Emmett was great. I'm not saying he wasn't, but for me, like, yeah, Barry was.
The funniest thing is, especially Detroit fans, a lot of them will be like, well, if Barry ran behind the Cowboys line with those people that open holes. And what people seem to forget is the Lions had a really good offensive line. The problem is Barry didn't want to run through it. So they'd open holes and he'd go around everyone.
Yeah. And 6'10", yeah, Bo Jackson was amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. And Walter Payton is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. But as a pure runner, and again, I don't even know how anyone even argues it because he did things that no one has ever done and will never do again.
Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah.
But football player, there are better. I will wholeheartedly admit it. But as a pure runner, that guy was.
Barry was amazing.
But if there was 15 minutes of Barry Sanders runs right now, I'd just let you talk and I'd be like, go ahead.
Yeah, just talk about watch. Oh, dude, that's how I'm with Earl. Watching Earl like slam into people. Oh, it's a work of art.
I can't believe 33 people are watching, going, "Oh my god!" Because we just start talking sports ball. The football, I find people are okay with it. I know Viper Scout; he's a Bears fan, and he talks about how bad things are. And you're right; you've had it bad, but you've won a Super Bowl.
True.
I know, and you've been to another Super Bowl.
That is very true.
The Lions are the last, and I'm not a Lions fan. I live in Detroit, so I follow the Detroit Lions, and I know what's going on because I listen to sports radio.
Yeah.
They're the last of the original NFL teams that haven't even made a Super Bowl.
I know.
Which is crazy.
I actually do like watching I actually do like watching the Lions play, and I've been enjoying watching them for a while just because they're fun to watch.
The past few years, they've been a lot of fun. And I'm as a non-fan, but I'm also not a hater.
Yeah,
I can sit back and watch it objectively.
Yeah,
and you're like, dude, like they did amazing things. And I really, and I hate Viper Scout. I'm sorry. I have a feeling that Ben Johnson is going to be the next Mike Martz, next Patriots, amazing assistant coach that they're going to get, under the Belichick tree. I'm sorry. That guy, he has his own issues, in my personal opinion. Just how he runs stuff.
Yeah,
that whole offense was put in place by Dan Campbell before he took over. So I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be fine. I don't think the Lions are going to be super great. Not like they were last year. I mean, they lost 2 games.
I know. Last year was fun to watch. Oh.
Anyway, so you go to college for that.
Yeah. Go to college.
Once you graduate, what do you do? What do you do?
Once I graduated, I actually started working for a law firm out in Austin. And I just kind of really enjoy my 20s. I worked hard. I work hard. I on the weekend I would go hang out with my friends. But it was movies, comics, and the toys here and there, like Marvel, my Marvel Legends and McFarlane, and then let's see here.
So wait, quickly, you said you work for a law firm?
Uh-huh.
Was it this one?
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
So I normally wouldn't do anything like that, but I like.
You had to.
I'm sorry. I
really
still
good.
see that and I just laugh. And it's even funnier to know that like Specs Buddy does the voiceover. It's not AI voice.
That was yeah. No, it was not that one.
So not everyone got a cookie.
Not everyone got a cookie. But no, like I'd go kayaking on the weekends. I really like and took Austin for all that it was. And then went to grad school and got my master's because it was becoming harder and harder to find a job, which is still being, so I got into Texas State, got my master's, and that was in 2009, 2010. Got my master's in international policy and mass communication. And then after graduation, went back to Houston and moved in with my parents. And that was a fun 5 years.
I fixed copy machines.
Yeah.
You lost me. I had so much shit there. I'm like, what? So during this whole time, I mean, you go to college, you get a master's. Are you collecting? Are you collecting toys? Are you collecting comics? Like what do you what are you doing for your free time and stuff like that?
I have been collecting comic books for about 30 years and I've never stopped.
How many boxes do you have? Do you know?
I've sold quite a few boxes. Before we moved, I sold
so you haven't kept everything, obviously.
No, because like, oh, I'll get rid of this run, I'll get rid of this run. But right now I've got about 15 short boxes.
That's not that many.
And that's after selling 4 short boxes and 2 long boxes.
That doesn't seem like it's that many.
I mean,
I know it's a lot of comics, but I know I had roughly, I think I had 7 or 8, and I wasn't a huge comic collector. Well,
because what I would do is I would take, like, I would have like 3 to 4 short boxes, and I'd take them to the comic book store, and then like, all right, well, I'm gonna get like a hot toy. I'm gonna get like this. I would start dabbling more and more into like more expensive stuff, which was always a bad idea. But yeah, I'm still, it was like video games, comic books. My movie collection was insane. Is still insane, actually. I have probably 700 movies. Yeah.
Are they shifted to digital, or do you have them on physical?
Physical.
Wow, that's a lot.
I've got them on. I have like boxes and boxes of movies.
Are these DVDs and Blu-ray or VHS?
All the above.
Wow.
I saw my Batman '89 VHS.
See, Blu-ray and DVD, again, they don't take up nearly as much space. VHS, on the other hand, especially if you get the Disney boxes.
Oh yeah,
that's a space killer. That's like keeping all your classified boxes. And Marvel Legends and Mythic. Oh shit, that's what I do. I have every classified box other than like 1 or 2 that was like it was damaged, but I have a good one.
Yeah, I have quite a few. Some of my G.I. Joe classified still in the box just because I like the way they look in there. But no, like in Austin, I was like I'd go run Town Lake on the weekends. I would go kayaking. I'd go to YouTube. I'd go to the games, or I'd go to the bars with my friend. Like we, like because this before Sister went. Well, no, it's always been Friday Douche Town, but we had our bars, and then when we got a little like mid to late 20s, and we moved to like a different part of 6th Street. Like, oh, this is like the classier version. Like, we have to wear a button down. But all my friends, we all stayed in town until 2009. Then like my best friend moved back to Houston with his girlfriend, then now wife. Like, they moved back, and then I moved back because I got a job teaching in Houston. So, but like, I was collecting mainly Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends, yes, it is. It was a great time. And if
Ed was down there when he was in the military.
Gotcha. Yeah. So there was one time I remember me and my best friend Brian, we were in charge of our friend's bachelorette party. So we were like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And we took our friend and her bridesmaids, because we were on her side, because she had like 2 female friends and like 3 guy friends.
So you guys just danced for her?
So we took her to 6th Street, and with some friends from her work, and we were at a bar. I forget which one it was, but these 2 Marines come up to us and goes, "What are y'all doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we threw the bachelorette party. She's the bride," and they're like, "Y'all 2 are the greatest friends ever. We're gonna get everyone shots." So we're like, "Okay, cool, let's do this." So they were really nice, and yeah, we got her, like, we got my friend just shit face. I ended up getting thrown up on her by her because she was like, "I'm gonna be sick." I'm like, "All right," and she's like, I'm like, pat her, I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay, it happens." But no, it was like a really great time. And then went back to Houston, and I not stupidly, but got into statues for a bit. I had a few. I ended up selling them. I'm like, I don't need that.
Doesn't Todd call them unarticulated action figures?
Yes, I believe he does. They're fun as hell. But then I was like, later on, I ended up getting Hot Toys. I'm like, I love Hot Toys and I love Mondo. They're so freaking good.
I refuse to get a hot toy because everyone says once you start, you'll just be like, I'm done with everything else.
No, I like Hot Toys and Mondo have literally made me question my collecting, because I'm like,
the Snowcat is close. Maybe the power of friendship here will get the 50 backers. The Snowcat need. Hey,
yeah.
if you get the Snowcat backed, even if it dips after, Bobby and I will do a special Snowcat stream later on.
Let's do it. 100%.
Now I have to go look. Like, well, where are we at now?
Hold on now. Wait a minute.
Because it's gonna drop in the morning. We already know it. Yeah, it's at 79.50. Wow, I think people are finally giving up. Like, I think people were backing out of it, not getting into it. I know we're off subject.
Yeah.
I think people have wanted it to fail. Now I think people find like it's gonna fund, and you're coming into the last weekend.
It's inevitable. Yeah. I saw the Snowcat at San Diego, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, if I hadn't just spent so much money at San Diego, I'd have backed this. Like, I was going to back it, but then I went to San Diego, and well, that didn't happen. So, I was like, shit. Dude, San Diego. Okay, I got Spec and Tony some stuff from there too. But I got lucky. I got there Wednesday night, and then my buddy Steve picked me up, and we went to preview night. And I'm talking. I went through Alex Ross's line, got some stuff, and I'm talking to Emily. I'm like, with 10 minutes left of the night, I go, "Hey."
Did you boo her?
Oh God, no. I trust me. I was there, like, on at the Hasbro panel or the Hasbro booth that later that day. I'm not getting into it. So
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh no, it's totally fine. So I'm there, I'm talking, and I go, how are you feeling? And she goes, I've got 10 minutes left. I can go home because I'm exhausted, right? Because it's first night and it's just a lot. You are very welcome, Tony. And I'm talking I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm talking, and all of a sudden, I hear this. I don't promise anything, and I beeline it. Like I let this like boulder of a nerd get in front of me because he was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, God, just go. Get in behind him. My buddy walks up to Emily, and he's like, so, you know who that was? She goes, oh, no, I know Bobby. Then he's like, he's going to apologize probably tomorrow. And she's like, there's no need to apologize. Like, I get it. He had to get in line. She's like, I understand. So I go up, I get in line, and the guy's like, here's, you gotta like fill out a card. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I need that. That's fine. And I'm like, here you go. I need that. My phone rings. I'm like, what? And I look back at my friend. He goes, get me an all striker. I'm like, I'm on the phone with you. Give me an all striker, bitch. I'm like, fine. I'm like, I want an all striker. And the lady's like, do you want one for yourself? And I was like, yeah, give me the all striker. Fine. This, I need a Cold Slither set for, okay, that. I need 2 Marvel Legends sets. Boom. I have this massive bag. I'm like,
They
God.
let you buy all that stuff? Like they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It was like $750. Boom. Right then and there. I got the Jetfire for a writer of mine. I get everything, and dude, the bag is massive. I get out of the line. I'm like, okay, let's go get food now. I'm hungry because it's closed. My boss texts me, hey, we're going to the eBay party. Do you want to come? And I'm like, I take a picture of the bag. I'm like, I can't take this. He goes, nope.
Your boss.
So I work for Cover Price, which is the new Wizard, basically. And we were there. Yeah, and they were there, and my boss was like, hey, we're going to the eBay party. You know, like I would love to. I've got this bag. He's like, nope. Get that home. We'll see you tomorrow. Cool. So like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like this San Diego was the best con professionally for me I've ever gone to. Just from all like I was panels, interviews, hustling, meeting people, getting cards. Like no, it was great. But I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that story. But no, like the Hasbro, it was great. Like I got Tony his Shayna, and then it was funny because I got 2 Marvel Legends sets. All I wanted was the Sauron, which I have. Like, I love this bad boy. This is fantastic. And I sold the other Sauron for 70, and I sold Savage Land Rogue for 90. And both Tony and my buddy Jason Dilworth from he's been on the show a few times. He was like, how much do I owe you? I'm like 30. I'm like, I don't make profit off my friends. I feel dirty. Yeah. And like, how much? I'm like, I sold Rogue for 90, and like, how much were you charging me? I'm like 30. I'm like, oh, what? I'm gonna like charge my friend like 90.
Yeah.
Stupid.
No, I get it. Like, and again, this is why you make friends in the community.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I didn't get Cold Slither right away, and somebody I know got it, and he said, hey, cost and whatever cost to ship it. I had a figure he wanted. I said, hey, what if I send you this figure? We'll cover shipping. He's like, perfect.
Yep.
That's why you make friends and get to know people in the community.
Oh, Zen's come through for me. Tony's come through for me. Spec has come through for me.
Who's Zen? I don't Zen.
Goldilocks. I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's his mom's always interrupting.
Yeah, his mom's always interrupting. I think it's Swedish. Goldilocks. I think.
Baldy fucks reviews.
And I gotta say, Tony, hot toys are very addicting. I actually had to sell. I lost my first unemployment. I had to sell off a bunch of my hot toys, which sucked. I had Doctor Strange, I had Hawkeye, I had Deadpool. Like, I had to flip them. But I've never sold my Captain Americas. So, yeah, and I've got I got the Cyclops 97 Mondo and the He-Man Mondo, and
I got to see the Mondo at PowerCon when I went there a couple years ago.
yeah,
And that was like, wow. Like those are nice. I don't want to touch them.
I and I joked, I quasi joked. I'm like, I would consider selling off a lot of my collection for like those monitors, because they're like, I saw at Comic-Con again, they had like She-Ra. I'm not even a huge She-Ra fan, but the set they had there, amazing. Like the merman, like the Skeletor, like, oh my god. And my wife, I know my wife, like, no, you don't need those. I'm like, I don't need them.
I don't need anything. They're toys. I
No,
want
exactly. Like my mom always said, like, you don't need them, you want them. I'm like, same thing.
They're not a necessity, but
They're
yes.
not. And like, you know, it's one of those things where like, as the only time my wife will get mad is if, you know, is like, she's like, well, you know, if it interferes with something that, you know, is important. Like, yeah, no, don't worry. Don't worry.
So I'm going to get into your work in a minute because I didn't know anything about it. But before that, so you've collected your whole life.
Yes.
You've collected comic books. How did you approach a girl when you wanted to, like, when you're courting them? I mean, this is not something that it's different now for the younger generation, but
It is.
now again, you're a little bit younger, so you're kind of coming into that. But I still don't think that it was one of those like, oh my god, you have toys. That is so sexy. It's usually oh my gosh, like, oh, you collect toys. That's kind of cute. And then they see your collection and they go, oh, you collect toys. And it's like, I told you.
Yeah. Yeah. So great question. In college, I had a lot of my collection, like my comics would be like in the closet, right? Like you couldn't see. I'd have like,
you were in the closet.
Geekly speaking, yes. I would always have my stuff kind of hidden so that you couldn't, or under the bed, right? You couldn't see it. But it was cool though, because I had friends in college who once it was almost like, oh, you're a geek, I'm a geek. Oh, you have your figure out. Oh, I can put my figure out. I can. Oh, and you create this like group friendship. Like, oh, this is cool. We're friends now. I'm like, all right. The exactly.
Hey, baby, want to see my long box?
Hey, baby. My name is Buckhead. But the funny thing was, my collection is actually what got my wife.
Okay.
Because the first time I brought my wife home to my apartment, I was like, you know what? F it. I'm a grown man. I've got all my collection out. I got my posters up. I got my figures out. I don't give a shit. Bring my now wife over, and she sees it. And she's like, oh Jesus, this man will never step out on me. Okay, yeah,
that's how some of them should be looking at it.
Yeah, because
I'm never going to find someone else that's going to be accepting of this.
Yeah, no, like, and you know, and in our, you know, our time together, you know, because like I told her, you know, like I hate strip clubs, I hate clubs. You know, if I'm gonna go to a bar, I want to go to a chill bar where I can just have a drink and talk. And she's like, oh yeah, you'd probably rather spend money on comics and toys and booze. I'm like, yeah, fair enough, yeah. And then with us being together, and with me being a geek, and with her, you know, slowly, you know, more and more like kind of like, oh, I think I like this. So she likes manga. She likes horror manga, right? She likes Legos. Like, you know, she's like, oh, and she's like, does it bother you that I like this? It's, you know, it's not what you. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you like what you like, do it. So yeah,
exactly.
You know, and you know, so she's like, oh, and then she's like, oh, I like this. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go to the comic book shop. I go, when we were in Houston, we went. There's a chain there, Bedrock, and like, oh, I took her to talk to one of the guys that worked there. I'm like, hey, Juan, Ashley likes manga, but she doesn't really know. And he's like, oh, let's go look at this section. Let's go find you a manga book that you like. She's like, okay, well, I kind of like this. He's like, all right, boom, let's do this. I'm like, there we go. And they're like, oh, I like this. Cool, get it. Like, enjoy it.
And again, I honestly think, and I say this, like, whoever I end up dating, if I end up dating someone, they don't have to understand what I like, what I love doing, whether it be skateboarding or collecting. They just have to understand and accept that it's something I love to do. Just like if they do something that I don't understand or that I don't do, right? And my whole thing, it's like, and I'd like to meet a girl that, like, hey, let's go to a Comic-Con, but doesn't feel the need to go to every single one of them, because it's kind of like I want to have my own time. Yeah. So it's kind of better that, hey, I want to collect, but I don't really like the stuff you do. I want to collect this stuff. It's like, that's perfect, because then it's your thing. Yeah. It's not our thing, because we have our own things that we're going to do together, but we need to have our separate timing. Yeah.
Like, like she's, in Houston, she'd go to a con with me. Like, she'd go one day and then she's like, I'm done. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But like, I love concerts, and, and she's like, you do that. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you want to go to the movies? Every now and then she's like, yeah, let's go to the movies. Other than that, you can go. Like, I don't need to see it. You can just go. I'm like, all right. We have things we do together and we have things we do apart, right? So.
And it's good that you have, again, it's great that she doesn't feel competition. My ex, I remember I would say, hey, I'm going out with my buddy Friday, and she'd go, well, I'm going out with so and so next week. I was like, all right, I don't care. Like, it's not a competition.
Yeah,
like,
no.
If you want to go out with her, go out with her and have a good time. I'm not going to be like, well, you went out with her, I got to go with my, like, I called them up and said, hey, let's go get dinner or something. Let's go see a movie. If you want to go out with your friend, then go out with your friend. It's not a competition. It's not a 1-for-1 here.
No, like, she would always say, like, hey, go hang out with your friends. Like, all right, we'll go hang out later. She's like, all right, that's fine. Like, she was like, yeah, go have fun. Because again, it was one of those things where, it should, and that is also because, we have really good communication. We're honest with each other, and it's something that, like, I was telling a buddy, I'm like, because he's talking to a girl right now, and he's like, I'm like, well, how? I'm like, look, for me, like, I got lucky with my wife and the fact that I genuinely like being around her. Like, like, COVID was a really great test because we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, right? 1-bedroom apartment with 3 dogs. Like, that's a wonderful test. And we're like, oh, I'm like, I'm gonna do Lego. She's like, all right, you want to do them at the bar? I'm like, yeah, I'll do them at the bar. She's watching TV, and it was a genuinely good time. Like, I'm like, oh, like, we genuinely like being around each other.
No, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And quickly, Tony dropping in here with a member for 22 months. So you get a
fucking Phil Collins.
Poor Phil Collins.
I love Phil Collins.
It's not hating on Phil Collins unless you're Allison. It was just something that we would always listen to Disney music at dinner, and you realize Phil Collins did a lot of Disney movies for a while. Mm-hmm. Now, I know people say only three movies. Either way, he did a lot, and I just said it like fucking Phil Collins, and I gave my daughter permission anytime a Phil Collins song comes on, she can say fucking Phil Collins. And then on Thursday with a friend with who was I on with? I can't think of who I was on with, but the story came up, and all of a sudden everyone loved it, and so I had Olivia do the fucking Phil Collins. I'm like, one day I'll get a message from his agent, like, what is up with this?
Why do you hate Phil so much?
Yeah. And the funny thing was, Johnny Reno sends me for his birthday. Gaz, thank you very much, Ed. Gaz. Johnny Reno sends me a 75th birthday for Phil Collins, and I send it over to Olivia, and she goes, "That's what he looks like." Like she had no idea.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
But we'll be driving, and a Genesis song comes on or a Phil Collins song, and I'll turn it up, and I'm like, and she may not know it, but she knows the look, and obviously she knows
Yeah.
the sound of the voice, and she'll say it. I'm like, that's when you can swear around me.
Fucking Pokemon, yeah. No, I love. Yeah, that's one of those things where like, it was really weird. Phil Collins was also a huge fan of Motown and the Alamo.
Have you ever been to Alamo?
Oh yeah.
It's
I mean,
very small.
it's oh yeah. Like, I mean, I'm from Texas. Like it's almost like a rite of passage to go to the Alamo. It's very small. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, not the Alamo. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the OK Corral. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
Haven't been to the OK Corral. I think I've been there once.
So I was in Arizona, 95. My buddy went to ASU, and we went there because Tombstone's out and
Oh yeah.
all that other. So we went and saw it, and he's like, "It's really not much there." And when you see the OK Corral,
It's nothing.
it is like there was that many shots, and everyone didn't die. Like, how is it even possible? Like, everyone should have been obliterated. I mean, it's
like Cobra Troopers
smaller
firing at
than
each
the
other.
room that I'm in right now, or maybe roughly the size of the room. And they had like there was.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is nuts.
That's nuts. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
The Alamo was it's a John Wayne movie, if I remember.
Yes.
Correctly.
Oh yeah.
It's
John
one of
Wayne.
the only ones he dies in it. Because my dad is a huge John Wayne fan.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. There was that Alamo, and then there was the Alamo with Billy Bob Thornton. It actually was pretty good too.
Yeah, my dad's a huge John Wayne fan. But he had to die because it's based on a true story.
True story, yeah.
All right, so how do you meet Ashley then?
So I met Ashley. It was a buddy of mine said, "Have you tried Facebook dating?" I'm like, "No, what is that?" And he's like, "It's a Facebook dating app." And she posted on it. I was like, "Oh, she looks pretty fucking good. Sup, baby?" And I was like, "Look, I am broke. Got a shitty job, but I can get you queso and margaritas." And she's like, "Deal." And she said, it was funny because we went, and it was a good first date, and she went home, and I texted her when I got home, like, "Hey, did you make it home okay?" Right, just make sure. And she goes, "That's when I knew that you actually weren't a normal douchebag. Like, you actually something different." Because she had been in Houston for less than a year, because she moved down from Iowa, and she was like, I went on so many dates with so many douchebags, and you're the only guy that like, "Hey, did you make it home okay? Are you safe?"
I feel like that's just like that would be common to ask.
Apparently not. Apparently, a lot of dudes are douchebags. Which is funny. It is funny because we'll see videos on either TikTok or Instagram, like all these guys with red flags. I'm like, I don't know anyone who does this. She goes, because your friend group is very odd, and you actually like surround yourself with like good people. I'm like, apparently, like, I'm like, fuck, okay. So yeah, so I said, "Hey, you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I made it home okay." I'm like, "Cool." Really great time. And then I almost lost her on the second date because I took her to the movies, and it was a really bad movie, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it'd be better." Yeah,
It was
Masterminds with Zach Galifianakis.
okay.
I
thought you were gonna say Chips.
You know what? I've never seen Chips. Never saw it.
Oh my god! I went on a date with a girl. We went and saw Chips, and there was no connection. But that movie could have been one that could very easily, depending on how, let's say, prudent the girl might be, because there's some really a lot of things that make you go, "Oh, these two are married I can only imagine what their sex life is like.
um, and then kind of by happenstance, she was having roommate issues, and so like, hey, well, if you need a place to crash, you can crash here. And then after like I think 2.5 months, like she pretty much I'm like, well, just you're here every night, just stay. And,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like she moved in, and then we got our dogs, and then it's like, we're like we're the first few months were rough because we're still trying to like figure each other out, but it's one of those things where like as we've been together now, it'll be 9 years in September that we've been together.
Okay.
And it's still it's still one of those things where she'll pop in, and I'm like, oh. Still still is amazing. Yeah.
And no kids or anything?
Not yet. It's I mean, we've been let's see here. In the first like 7 years, I lost my job 3 times.
Okay.
Well, I lost 3 different jobs, and so it's just like we never, had financial stability, and then it's like, all right, well, we're trying to get to that spot where we can get a house, and then after the house, then we can have a kid, and then it's like, all right, no.
For the record, if you don't have financial stability, you might as well have a kid, because guess what you don't have when you have a kid?
Oh,
financial stability.
Yeah, I know, but we're in a 2-bedroom apartment where we don't want to be at. We're like, all right, well,
I do. I fully get that. Like I do. And is she younger than you?
Yeah, she's 10 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she still has some time. And again, I know people are in their 40s having kids. Have them quick, because man, kids they will age you fast.
Oh yeah, no, I mean
I used to have hair.
Yeah.
It used to be black.
Yeah, this hair was it just for men. So
that's what Tony keeps saying. I'm like, I've never dyed anything.
Yeah,
I just hate that this side is much whiter than this side.
Oh, it's really weird. Like this is like really dark black, and then this is grayish, and then this is it's weird. Hair is weird. Getting older is weird.
All right, so you meet Ashley, and you guys got married, and she's into collecting. So
yeah.
Now you've talked about losing your job a couple times. So what are you doing now? Because I know that you were living in Houston, and now you've moved to Albuquerque.
Yes.
Which is so hot to hot.
You know what? It's funny. It's hot, but and I was explaining it to my mom, and she's like, "That's because you came from a hellscape." Houston, Texas weather, but especially Houston, is a different type of hot. Because the humidity. Yeah. So like yesterday, it was 85, but the real feel was 103.
I live in Michigan, and but I know like Texas is like that all the time.
Yeah, all the time. We get like 1 month. You get 1 month of like nice.
When I went down to Dallas for training,
the
first time, there was my instructor. He was a Mexican guy.
Yeah,
lived in Texas his whole life, and he said it's too hot to. He goes, it's miserable. It's too hot to even sit on your porch and enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's when I went. This is not a place I want to live.
No,
because if you've lived here your whole life, and you're saying in the summer I can't even just go sit on my porch and enjoy it, I don't even want to deal with that.
No, like last summer I'd be outside just sitting with the dogs outside, and in the backyard, because we were at my grandmother's house, and I would just be like dripping sweat. I would just be like drenched. I have to go change t-shirts just from taking the dogs out.
Oof.
Yeah, and then here it's 83, but it's like real feel 86, right? It's like, oh, this is hot. Like today I got up to like 101. I'm like, it's hot, but it's like 101. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, I was I know before, because Tony last year whined and cried about what the humidity was going to be like at Joe Fest.
Yeah,
like, just deal with it, dude. And like this year, Michigan was like, it was creeping up there, And I was like, I'm like in training for Augusta right now.
Yeah. Like, I'm
It's
ready for
slowly
this.
creeping. So I'm not going from like 70 to 95 with 85% humidity.
Yeah.
Because anyone that's lived with like the humidity, again, we deal with it here. It'll be like 70% humidity.
Yeah.
You step out of your car and it just goes, and you're like,
Yep. Yep.
like this is awful. But I will take it. I mean, I'll take that over 20 degrees, windy, and not a cloud or not a ray of sunshine in the sky. Because that's awful. Winters can be brutal.
What can?
Winters.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure.
But like I'll tell you what, like a winter, 20 degrees and no wind and sun, dude, it's you're not even cold.
It was the weirdest thing. So we moved here. We left Houston, and my wife, love her, you know, God bless her. She was trying to get me to. She was trying to get it to where I moved. We moved in on the anniversary of my brother's death. Right. She was trying to get it. So I was not focused on anything. And what ends up happening is there was a giant dust storm in Albuquerque. And so on the anniversary, we are stuck in her Bronco, packed with all of her stuff. The U-Haul's right there. And I'm reading a book, and she's like, "This is not what I planned." I'm like, "It's all right. It's okay. It's okay." But we moved, and it was like 40 degrees, right? And so Houston, when it's 40, it feels like 20 because of the humidity. It's so cold.
Yeah.
Here, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt going, "Oh, this is really nice. Oh my God, is this what I'm going to be dealing with?" Like, even when it snowed in April, and I'm like, I got shorts and a hoodie on. This is amazing. Oh my God. Yes.
When I went to Arizona, I flew in. I was there for 10 days.
Yeah.
My buddy's from Michigan. He picks me up and he's got a sweatshirt on. I get off the plane.
Right.
It was spring break. And it was like 65, 70 in Arizona. Okay. Now I'm coming from probably 20, 30 degree weather. Like, why do you have a sweatshirt on? He's like, "Dude, it's cold." I'm like, "Dude, it's like 65 degrees. He's like, "Just wait." By the end of that 10 days, I understood when it hit 60 how it felt colder.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, 60 degrees is not freezing. And his roommate, who grew up in Arizona, he goes, "I gotta," and this is before you had car start. Like, I mean, some people had car starters, but you usually would walk out and start your car. He's like, "Man, I go out and I start my car. It is freezing. It's like 50 degrees sometimes in the morning." And I go, "Don't ever call 50 degrees freezing."
No.
And then he went, "Okay." I'm like, "No, that's not freezing. Freezing is literally freezing."
Yes. I mean,
you're cold.
It's cold. And it's sad because, you know, the guy that trained you, like, yeah, it's true. Like, I grew up in Texas all my life. You know, I remember getting snow and ice, and now it's like we got a freak snowstorm back in 2019, and then again like in March, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, like I remember like there used to be snow. Like I remember living in Austin having to like, you know, like key off my window because it had ice on it. And then well, it's great because it's Texas, and if it ices in Texas, like everything shuts down. So my law firm, you know, we get the email like, "Hey, if you can't come to work today," I'm like, "Oh, I can't come today. Sorry, we got an ice day," pretty much. One of the best times, like I'm like I was talking to a buddy of mine on AIM. This is 2007, 2008, no 2007. I was in my really great apartment. 2007. I am watching UT basketball on my computer. I'm playing the Wii. I'm in robe. I'm drinking Jack and Diet, and I'm like, "Either what do you know?" I'm like, I am drinking at 2 p.m. playing Nintendo. I am living it. And he goes, "This is amazing." I'm like, "This is what are you doing?" I'm drinking beer. I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." But now that never happened anymore.
But you know, that's what's crazy when it comes to all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know. But okay, so where are you working now? Because I know again you moved. What did you move for a specific reason or?
We moved because Texas was getting too insane, too crazy for us for a multitude of reasons. But luckily, my job is remote.
All right.
So I work for coverprice.com, which if you ever read Wizard back in the day, that's what we do. We price guide, we have top 10s, what's hot, what's not, what was hot, what isn't. We do some advisory type articles, and I edit it. And I have a meeting tomorrow with the owners about possibly taking on slightly more PR role. But yeah, like I just sit and I edit articles on comic books every day.
Okay.
It's fun as hell.
But I kept asking the guys, I'm like, what does he do? And they're like, I think he works in a comic shop. I'm like, all right.
Almost. But no, I work. I edit. And
Have you ever asked Tony a question? It is hard to get like an actual answer out of him.
Like, I don't know what he does. And I'm actually pushing for. I'm actually. We have. Oh Jesus. We have in the future a plan to kind of create a toy fair type website as well. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm pushing for that. I'm like, I've got connections. Let's do a little something. So, but no, it's one of those things where like I got to go to San Diego because they got me in, right? Like, I was a professional.
I love this. I'll never forget the feeling of sitting in a freezing fucking car with ice cold seats, looking at your own breath, waiting for the fucking thing to warm up. I never want to experience that again.
That does suck.
Dude, all I have to say is thank God for auto car starts, because that was every winter going to school and leaving school or finishing snowboarding. And
Yeah.
You're sitting in the car and you're freezing and you're just waiting for it to waiting for it to warm up. And cars do not warm up that quickly. Air conditioning goes on right away.
You know what? I would have that every now and then where your breath, you're like, come on, warm up. But then being in Houston, I had the exact opposite, because when it gets to 123 in your car, it takes forever to cool down.
But the air kicks on right away.
The air kicks on, but then I'd have like hot air blowing on me until it cooled off. Oh, dude.
Yeah, but it should kick on fairly quickly.
You would think so.
But I mean, I deal with that now. I mean, in that car, but like the remote car starter. I mean, I don't worry about it in the summer, but in the winter, and to mention, they say that you're not supposed to just get in your car when it's 10 degrees out and just start driving. You're supposed to let the oil kind of run through.
Yeah. It like there's one time when I was teaching at one of the junior college campuses in Houston, and they didn't have a parking garage. They just had like a parking lot. So I'd get into my car, and I had leather seats, which sucked. And I would take my shirt and like open my car door, and just like you could just see the steam like bellow out. And like, God, I don't miss that.
Leather seats, hot in the summer, cold in the winter.
Yes.
And I mean, I have a 2017 Dodge Journey.
Yeah.
It has heated seats, but they're leather. They take forever to warm up.
Yes.
We used to have these little Escapes for work, and they had heated seats, but they were cloth. Those things heated up like that, like super fast. I'm like, I wouldn't expect the heated seats in cloth to warm up faster.
My wife has a Bronco. That's what we've got. And that's got cloth seats. My Mustang, which is in Austin, has cloth seats. Like, I like cloth. Because it doesn't scald your legs and shorts in the summertime.
I watched my daughter get in, and she has a real short shorts. She's like, "Oh my God, it's hot." I'm like, "Well, I don't want you wearing shorts that short anyway." So,
down.
That is the dad speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so tell me about your YouTube and like what you do on YouTube.
Yeah.
What the channel is, and obviously you're on a toy kind of mood too, so you can obviously talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, if you've seen anything with the toy kind of mood, that's just basically what we do over there. Just talk toys and stuff like that. But with GHG, that's more like I have to edit it still because San Diego got in the way. But like KJ Black Angus was on, and we discussed Superman. I had Tony on last year. We had our top 5 greatest animated intros, right? It's where I can really go and just nerd out about anything I want. Last year, I'm gonna do it again this year. My buddy Derek and we did fantasy football. Like, we just talked like, how'd you do this week? And there's usually like, I sucked. I'm like, same here. I had Christian McCaffrey. I had the first pick. I took Christian McCaffrey, and what happened? I'm like, God damn it.
When I played fantasy football, I played with a couple guys that were on the air, like they did sports radio.
Yeah.
And he was like, get a running back. Like, that's like and I did it the first year, and I was like, this is dumb. You get it, because his philosophy was always, hey, you can get a middle of the road quarterback, and in fantasy football, he's going to have just as good of numbers as someone like Peyton Manning, right?
Yeah.
But after that first season, I realized, wait a minute, you know what you need? You need a good quarterback that gives you the same amount of points every game.
Yep.
And a good kicker. I know people think it's stupid, and
it's not. Kickers will save your game.
Kicker like in the first round or two, but look at some of these. And I don't play fantasy football anymore, but I'm like, look at teams that are going to be kicking a lot of field goals, because you want them kicking field goals. And I wanted a quarterback that's going to be good almost every single week, rather than this is going to make Tony mad. Tony Romo, who threw a shitload of interceptions, right? And if interceptions counted against you, you were fucked. And he'd go shitty week and then have a good week. I just went like, boom, like good. And I traded 1 year. I won. I know people hate when other people talk fantasy football. I traded to the running back that knocked out his girlfriend.
Ray Rice.
Yep. And I had Fitzgerald.
Oh, okay.
He was really good.
Yeah.
And I traded both of them for Drew Brees. And it was the year that Drew Brees went absolutely fucking ballistic.
That's a smart move.
And everyone made fun of me because Drew Brees didn't start off that way.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season, I remember after I won, I looked back and I said, throughout all my the 3 playoff games, if I would have just played Drew Brees, I would have won every game, because he just went absolutely crazy.
And it's always weird. Like, I always will get my main roster, and then I always get a kicker. I always go for a kicker. And my buddy's like, why are you going for kicker so early? I'm like, kickers have won me games. Like, I don't think, like, turn this right here. You're right. Kickers will save you a game. Like, oh yeah, I'm down by like three field goals, and I've won this game.
Yes.
Like, I don't.
Especially when like they're kicking, like, hey, this team on average they kick 2 to 3 field goals a game, and then if you're lucky, they'll get maybe 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
But you're not worried about the touchdowns because that's 1 point.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, if you and I argued that with people, and like I said, I won the few years that I won one year, and the other year I went to the championship. But I'm my kickers are way more important than, again, I don't think you don't draft them in the first 2 rounds, but when you see one that's sitting there and you're like, and you see the team, you're like, that kicker's good. Yep. That team sucks.
Yes,
they're gonna be in full field goal range a lot.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's like, come on.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's one of those things where, like, I've got like articles right now. I had one a few weeks ago where it was like, my most accurate comic book accurate, action figures, and then I've got one right now. I'm working on like the top five. Like, I'm doing a lot of like lists because it's just
Wait,
easy.
do you
right?
have a Do you have a website or just
Yeah,
a YouTube?
geekshavegame.com. Like that's
Okay. Well, you
still
know what?
there.
I didn't have that in there. I'm gonna have to put that in there.
Yeah. No worries. Geeks Have Game. And like all the GHG videos, talking of moods in there. Buddy of mine's gonna start writing for us again because he wants to kind of like get back into writing. Like, that's fine. Yeah, sure, whatever.
See, now I did not realize that you had a website.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop the website too, and then I have to go while you're talking as I edit the
No worries.
edit your description here.
Yeah, and I've gotta I need to get back in because I was like, I'm like writing like reviews again. I have to like kind of get back into the swing of things. But like, I need to do a Fantastic Four video. I'm gonna do that with KJ soon. Sunday we're doing a show. I'll probably go live with it, just say screw it. Just me, my buddy Derek, who's with the Geekdom Fancast, and his buddy. And we're just gonna talk about San Diego again because it's like, we finally have a time to talk about it. It was. This is the second time I've gone to San Diego where I've stayed in a hotel with someone with a CPAP machine. CPAP, and that there was one point in the morning, and
I'm sorry.
No, I won't say the gentleman, because he's a really good dude, but he had a CPAP, and then at one point the CPAP stopped, and I was like laying there going, is he still alive? I didn't hear any snoring. I'm like this, and then I hear this. I'm like, okay, he's alive. Whew. And so I told my buddy, I'm like, dude, is he okay? Is he good? He goes,
So what would you rather? Would you rather be in a hotel room with the CPAP going, or someone doing hotel reviews? Sorry, it was there. It was like on the tee, and I had to knock it out.
Low hanging fruit. I know. Actually, I did. We did do that. 2 Comic Cons ago. I was there, and it wasn't Travis who was doing it.
How did you know that's who I was?
Well, no, because like I was there. It was Travis, our best friend Lance, and then another dude. And the guy was like doing like he was going like live in the hotel room, and he's like, "Okay, can y'all be quiet?" And we're all just like, "We're getting ready for dinner. How do we be quiet? How do we do this?"
I do know that at Joe Fest last year,
yeah,
at least one person I know for a fact, as I was sitting in the line with him to get the Operation Monster Force figures. Now, there had been no Operation Monster Force figures other than those Joe Fest exclusives.
Yeah.
He said, he goes, "I'm going up to do a review right after this." And I was like, okay, I sure the hell am not, because I have other things that I want to do, like hang out. But all right, go have fun. And I just, I don't know if it helped him at all, but I was like, that.
And like, God bless him if that's what like, hey, like I have been doing this now long enough, either writing or the YouTube stuff, that honestly, it's not that I don't care, but it's like, all right, you do you. Like I'm just like, you go do what you go do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. Like I'm like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna go by the pool and drink. And I've had people going, well, I've had people ask, well, are you gonna write anything up? No, okay.
See, that's what like Tony and I talked about Joe Fest. I'm like, it seems like a great idea to interview people. I do a walkthrough in the morning. I did it both years, but that's like, I wake up at 8. I go downstairs and I do a quick walkthrough, half hour, 45 minutes, and then later on, I just kind of put it together and put it out there, right? But
Yeah.
that's all like. And even when I went to PowerCon, I was like, I'm gonna do some interviews. But then you get there and you're talking to people, and it's like I'd rather hang out with my friends that I'm probably not gonna see for another year if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And I realize, like, for me, I don't want Joe Fest to ever be a work trip. I want it to be a time for me to go and hang out with people. And if I ever get to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and I do want to, like, I would love to go next year, but right after Joe Fest, we're going right down to Florida. My daughter wants to go to Florida.
Yeah.
For her, between her junior and senior year, right? So I'm like,
yeah,
I was able to get 2 weeks off. My boss like, don't ask every year. I'm like, I ain't got that much money, so
yeah, exactly.
But I'm already down there. I'm like, there's no way that I'm driving down to Augusta and driving back to Michigan, and then a month later driving back, because I would be like, I'm not driving. But I'm 6 hours away. So the year after that, I'd like to go because my daughter lives in San Diego. And
nice.
Yeah, and she works outside. She works at the Looney Tunes.
The Chuck Jones Museum?
Yes, that's where she works.
Oh, no shit. I love
so they have a thing outside of San Diego She doesn't go in, but she's outside of San Diego Comic-Con. They do something.
Yeah.
And because I'm always like, okay, I'm like, they need you. She's like, I don't get to go in. I'm like, okay, you're not hearing me.
Somehow get in.
She doesn't, What was fun? What was crazy is that they moved to San Diego. They were living in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They didn't get an apartment. And my ex was like, if she doesn't get the apartment, they're probably going to move back. That's what she wanted. And because they didn't get the apartment, her boyfriend's best friend was like, that job here is still open if you want it.
Gotcha.
They go down there. And then at my son's graduation party last year, she's like, oh, hey, yeah, Emily got a job. And they're showing everything. Like, she put it on face, and she says, and she's like, yeah, we're working San Diego Comic-Con. I'm like, really? You moved down there, and in 2 months, you're going to San Diego Comic-Con. Technically, she never went in, but
right.
So I'm like, I would like to go there, and I have a place to crash.
Yeah.
And but money wise and everything, it's still
it's tough. It's funny though, because you go to Comic-Con and I saw Travis only because I'd be at the Hasbro booth and we'd see each other, or we were chilling in a panel together. Other than that, it wasn't until we did the Cold Slither concert. That was a lot of fun. But I didn't see him until really Sunday. I was like, you know what? My plan getting home got screwed. I'm gonna get a drink at the Marriott. And he's like, oh, I'll come hang out with you. I'm like, all right, cool. Come get a drink with me. It was like that's kind of what we do now. It's like Sundays we get a drink at the Marriott. Other than that, I ran into friends just happenstance. Hey, where are you? Oh, cool. Boom, I'm right there. Ran into KJ like that. I ran into Mike Case like that. I ran into a buddy of mine like that. He's like, oh shit, you're here. Okay. Happenstance. That's it. Other than that, I'm like, it was part. This trip was more, I'd say, 60-40 business.
Yeah, but are you being sent there from the company you work for?
They got me the ticket. I was like, my thing was, because we're still, I want to kind of help build the brand.
Are you choosing to go there as a work trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, if that's what somebody wants to do, I have no problem with it.
Yeah. Well, but then there's also I would be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the Hilton and grab a overpriced cheeseburger and hang out and just hang outside, and because it's right there by the ocean, I get a beer, a cheeseburger, and I enjoy the beach or the ocean.
That sounds nice.
Oh, it's very relaxing, and it's all right, I can, because I always take too many comic books to try and get signed, and by like Sunday, like I was there all like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Thursday, I'm like miserable. Friday, a little bit better. Saturday, I'm like, okay, I don't have anything to. I'm just gonna walk around. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna walk around, do panels, stuff, do interviews. That was fun. That was nice. But yeah, so we're gonna discuss like going to New York, because New York is a lot of fun because it's easier for me because I can just crash with my sister and her husband
Okay.
and just take the subway over to the Javits Center and just go enjoy it, come back.
How far is that?
It is a 30-minute subway trip.
Oh, that's
That's nothing. No, because they are lower east side and it's lower west side. Just like hop over. Yeah.
okay. So, so you said your sister lives in New York.
Yeah.
All right. So your sister lives in New York. How long ago did she move to New York?
I think it's now 15 years.
Okay.
Like, because we lived, I think she moved out there 2011, 2012. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, if you're again, that's perfect too. Like that's kind of how I feel about like if I get to go to San Diego. Like I don't know how long, like I don't know. I get conflicting reports. Like my ex says she doesn't want to stay there that long. She wants to move back, but now he's thinking that he wants to stay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I talked to my daughter, and I'm like, you don't really sound like you want to move back to Michigan. Like,
Yeah.
I think that if they decide to have a family, they don't have any family out there. So I think that's kind of how she's looking at it. That if we decide to have you guys there to help us, where they don't have anyone, like they don't have anyone to watch their dogs. So I'm like, I'd like you to come to Florida with us. We don't have anyone to watch our dogs, which I'm like, seriously, throw them in a kennel. I don't like someone you can find someone to watch your pug, your pug and your two pugs or whatever she has.
Yeah.
But I also understand financially, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I threw the offer out there. I'm paying for the hotel, it's not a hotel, it's an Airbnb. Like you don't have to worry about it, and if I can pay for your tickets, to this, to the parks, I would.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she's not. And my daughter was like, Olivia's like, I don't care, I want to go. Like, all right, like that's like that's but so where do you see the channel going? Like, what else are you looking to do? Are you looking to do anything more? I mean, are you going to eventually take a step back from a toy kind of mood to focus on that, or do you see yourself doing both?
Doing both. Because
Okay.
like I genuinely enjoy talking toys with like Travis and Spec and KJ and Tony and Baldy and the random guests we have on. And that's I think because I've been with it since basically the beginning, it's I feel like, oh no, this is also my baby. Stepchild maybe, but still my baby. But with GHG is something where I'm like, it's also like, oh, like I really just need to start doing stuff just because I'll be reading something. I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this because this is amazing. This is fantastic. Life gets in the way. All right, I'll do it later. So I was like, I gotta, because that's what TikTok is amazing for me, because like, I can go on there, do a 9-minute spiel, and like, I should be doing this on YouTube, but maybe I don't know. I know. Just do like the quick spiels. I know. It's what, but it's one of those things where like, if you go on there, because it was my old Bayou City Geeks, I've got tons of interviews on there with.
Okay.
I've interviewed Mark Wade. Let's see, Mark Wade. My buddy and I interviewed Ruth E. Carter, which, if you don't know, she's a 2-time Academy Award winner. for Glory and Black Panther. She is an amazing costume designer. Let's see here. Peter Serafinowicz. I've interviewed. I mean, I did interview. It's not on the channel. I wish it was Kevin Hart. That was a fun interview. Kevin Hart's a really cool dude.
He's short.
Oh yeah. No, like I didn't realize how like I was in the green room like they were like I'm like getting my notes ready. See him walk by. I'm like, you knew who was shocking to me was
Seth Green.
Machete. He's in all of Robert Rodriguez's films. Hold on, God, who I'm gonna look at this. Who played?
I know Seth Green is shorter than I am, like considerably.
Danny Trejo.
Oh, Danny Trejo. I can't believe you brought Danny.
That dude who walked by me, he was like, I'm like, who the?
You hear that, Tony? Danny Trejo, your dad. So Olivia one day is looking, and she's like, she sees Tony, and she's like, that looks like that one guy from Spy Kids. I'm like, Danny Trejo? I'm like, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. And then she's like, I bet that's his dad. She's like, that's his dad, right? So I don't know if you saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
I still have it. I can send it to you. So Tony posted that picture of his dad winning the bowling tournament. Or not the pool tournament.
Yeah.
I quickly photoshopped Danny Trejo's head onto it, and it fit perfect.
That's hilarious.
And I posted it on it, and Tony removed it, and he said, hey, that was hilarious. My dad laughed at it, but I removed it because I don't know what my family's going to say. Because you know how some family can be.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Olivia, and she broke down dying laughing.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, somehow she's turned Danny Trejo into Tony's dad.
I'm gonna put
that inside jokes that end up having I end up having with people from all over the world.
I'm gonna change Tony's contact name to Danny Trejo now.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when Tony's like, he calls me. He's like, hey, I had to remove that. And he says his dad laughed. He's like, I had to remove it. He's like, my dad laughed, but like, I don't want any of my other family to be like, what the hell is this crap? You know, like, you know how family can be.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
Which I find it odd. I mean, my family's Mexican and Italian, and they'd find that shit hilarious. But what's funny is that Tony's dad sounds like Danny Trejo, because I'll hear him on the phone.
Oh,
talking.
Really?
Yeah, because like that's what so when Olivia said that, I go, it's funny you say that. He doesn't look anything like him. But I actually brought up to Tony, I'm like, dude, is that Danny Trejo in the back? Well, before Olivia said anything.
That's funny.
So she's like, well, that's because that's his dad.
That's funny. That is good.
So I guess I don't know what else more to say.
I mean that's really it, you know. Like, but like there is stuff I want to do with the channel. It's just like, you know, it's and like we talked about before the show started also, and we talked about before, what you want to do and what you have time to do are two massively different things, right? Because I do want to do stuff here, but I also want to, like, you know, with my company, like trying to like help build that up, because we're still, you know, pretty young. I've got you know, I do want to spend, you know, time with my wife. I want to, you know, be able to, like, you know, go do. So it's like like literally I have like a stack of comics I have to like read. I'm like, I haven't read these. Crap. Okay, I've got writing I need to do. It's like you try and prioritize what you want to do in the day, and it's always like, okay,
you're absolutely correct. And again, like, there's nothing wrong with it. Where, like, I know that for me, I have really focused on doing YouTube. Like,
yeah,
it's something that I do, and I don't expect everyone else to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have a girlfriend, so I have time to do this. My kids are a little bit older, so they understand. So it's like I know that I have personally decided to make this decision. Not everyone can.
Oh, dude,
And
if I was single, I'd be like, I'd be on there all the time. Like, well, but yeah, like I'm gonna, let me do
so
this. But
again, it's one of those things where it's like not everyone can do it, and I fully understand it.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just how that works, and again, like if that's you make and it works like this with anything. I watch Jim Rome, or I used to listen to Jim Rome a lot. He switched his time slot, so I don't get to hear him as much. But he talks about like all the extra work that he does, and he's like, you have to, if you want to make it work, you have to put that time into it.
yeah,
It doesn't just normally happen. And again, a lot of the guys that I talk to, they're like, I just want to do this for fun. I'm like, I do too. And like, that's cool. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you ever have any questions, hit me up, man. I have no problem.
No.
I don't want to be the gatekeeper, because as everyone gets better, we all should be rising, right?
Exactly. And it's one of those things where, and it was so weird at Comic-Con getting recognized for like being on a toy con. It was so weird. But I spoke with a few people, they were like, no, dude, like you cannot leave either your channels. I'm like, oh, okay. But I scared I felt bad. I scared Mark Van Cannon from Gridiron. I scared him because like the final day of the con is closed. I'm walking on the way. I see him and his wife walking the other way. And I go, oh, hey, Mark. But I've got sunglasses on, and I've got my hat on like this with sunglasses on. I'm like, Mark. And he's like, who the fuck is it? I'm like, oh, sorry. I go, it's Bobby. He goes, oh, I thought you were some random. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize you.
The getting recognized thing it takes some getting used to.
But it does, but it's like
when I went to PowerCon, this was a few years ago now, or whatever, 2 years ago. There were a few people that recognized me, and obviously the channel was much smaller, but it was also mostly Motu.
Yeah.
First year of Joe Fest, more people were going to recognize me because I'm more of a Joe centric channel. I get it.
Yeah.
This year, it became a running joke. It totally became a running joke, but Ed will even say like it did kind of like we couldn't walk down an aisle without somebody stopping you.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's like, I mean, I think it's awesome, and I'll stop and talk to anyone because it's like, but I'm just another person like you. I'm just one of those people. I'm willing to put myself out there to talk, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the key master. That's but no, it is weird. And again, you guys have been on long enough, and you guys are popular enough that I would assume that if you're walking through Comic-Con, people are going to notice you and want to come up, take a picture, say hi, have that 5 minutes to bullshit with you.
Yeah.
I got recognized. I was at Sergeant Red's.
Okay.
And this guy looks at me, and I could tell he figured out that he knew me. I'm in a toy store. I'm in the best toy store in Michigan, right? I could tell he knew me because he kept like kind of looking down. And then finally he's like, hey, he's like, are you a punk with toys? And I was like, yeah. And we started talking. And so we're kind of chatting back and forth. And he goes, yeah, he goes, I heard you say you live around here, but I didn't know where. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm thinking I mention all the time, like whereabouts I live. And he goes, and I go, yeah, I mention all the time on my channel. And he goes, oh, you have a channel? And I go, yeah. He goes, I just saw you on a Toy Kind of Mood and heard you. I was like, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, like you did, like you recognize me from a Toy Kind of Mood and remember that I said I lived in Michigan and didn't realize that I had my own channel.
That's funny, dude. That's fun. No, it was weird. Like people like I talked to Bill with Operation Monster Force because I love the stuff, but like John's like, yeah, go say hi to him. I'm like, okay, cool. And he's talking to someone, but he's like looking at me. He's like, why do I know this dude? And he's like talking like, and I'm just there. I'm waiting. I'm not gonna be rude first. I'm not gonna interrupt. And finally, he stops talking. I'm like, hey, Bill, hi. He goes, I know you. I'm like, hey, I'll go Bobby with the Torque and Mood traffic. He goes, yes. Oh my God, Bobby. Okay, yes. I'm like, this is weird. Okay, this is weird.
I sat there at Joe Fest, and I'm talking to Bill while he's at his booth.
Yeah,
and he's talking to me, and then he's like, I really appreciate what you do. He goes, I really like, and I go, you watch my reviews? He goes, oh, I watch all of them. He goes, I really like how you review each and every single one of them,
yeah.
And you give your own opinion, and you're not overly harsh. And I'm thinking like, wow, like I've had other people, other guys that are making toys, recognize who I am. And then he goes, whatever happened with that copyright strike stuff? And I went, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh shit, we had like conversations, because when I got hit with the copyright strikes, he was the one I was reaching out to, because this guy was saying that Monster Force, he was commissioned and no one knew who he was. So here I'm sitting talking to him, and I'm like, oh, he really watches my content, which he does, probably because he figured out. But I'm like, oh, that's right. We had like personal conversations and shit that I totally forgot about.
Whoops. And it happens, it happens. Funny.
But usually those are the people that forget they had a conversation, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
man. like, wait. Oh, no, yeah. That's so awkward when people bring something up and you're like, did I have a conversation with you?
When he brought up I was just like, how does he? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Because he was the one that I was like, when I was disputing with YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, the owner doesn't even know. Like, he wrote me a whole letter that I sent over to him and everything.
Yeah.
And he asked me, I was like, what? Oh shit, that's right. We were like trying to help me out, like get these copyright strikes and everything resolved. But it's interesting, when you realize like I do YouTube and people are like, they recognize me. But again, like people love it, man. Like people really do enjoy that. So look, Pop Blender is jumping in here. I would go to LA for 2 reasons: to make fun of Hollywood and vote like a weirdo.
Okie dokie.
You don't need to go to Hollywood to make fun of Hollywood. You can do it right from here. You do it like every Sunday night and Friday nights and Tuesday nights, Pop. But anyway, I guess before we wrap it up, I guess I should ask something that, I mean, people, I'm surprised haven't even said anything. What do you collect? I know you've talked about a few things, but what are you collecting now? Is there anything that you're all in on?
All in on it. That's a good question. It's funny. I will let me pop in here. Oh, hey, my sweetheart, babies. Hi, baby. My doggies come in here. Hi, babies. I'm still Marvel Legends. I do a lot more cherry picking now. Like I used to be like hard, and I still can remember like Motu Origins because it's a cheap line to get into. Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, the Street Fighter lineup is amazing. Jada's doing really well. The one thing I consistently is Hot Wheels. I do.
Oh, you're a Hot Wheels guy.
My dad and I have been doing that for about 25 years now.
Okay.
So My dad. That's something my dad and I do together. I'm cherry picking The Simpsons. I love these. Kind of some pops now. Like they're doing a little bit. I mean, there you go. Like that's me in a nutshell. Motu. I got my GI Joe over there. Uh, some posters. I have a bunch of movie posters. I love vinyl, so I have a bunch of like
Okay.
vinyl records.
All
Oh yeah.
right.
So
See,
it's always
I'm like, I've always been like, I've never liked vinyl. And
uh,
again, in the punk scene, like, so much stuff gets pressed on vinyl.
mhm.
And I used to always be like, I had the cassettes and then I had CDs.
Oh
And then
yeah.
I finally got to that point that I was like, if it's not all on this thing right here, I don't care.
I
And,
I, I had I had to pick
and
this
how
up.
weird is it to go to Target these days? There's not a CD section, there's a vinyl section.
Yeah, yeah. It's where I hate like Walmart. Luckily, still carries DVDs because I still will buy like my favorite movies of the year. So I have for this year I'll get Sinners, I'll get Thunderbolts, and then Superman and Fantastic Four. I'll get those on Blu-ray. But it is not seeing like vinyl. I'm like okay. But yeah, like it's just a lot of stuff. I'm like okay, more cherry picking. But like I had to pick up this. Like speaking of Ghostbusters, I had to pick up this Peter Venkman, the Slimer. Like it's like put them on my desk. I'm like okay, these are fun here on my desk. Like I like a lot of stuff on my desk. I got Spider-Man. I've got a bunch of random stuff. So yeah, my goddaughter got me this popcorn bucket.
That's a popcorn bucket? That's
Yes.
pretty good for a popcorn bucket.
Yep. See,
Like crap.
like this.
I would have thought that was like how they yeah, you can't see them, like the Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander masks. That's what that looks like.
So this is a popcorn bucket, and then Herbie is a popcorn bucket.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that. Again, like I've I'm kind of scaling back a little bit just because it's like all right, where do I want to like actually like invest money in? Like my comic books, I've scaled back. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna get everything. I can read them online, but like these, like X-Men, Batman, GI Joe, the Energon Universe. Yeah, MCR here. Remove that real quick. This is a popcorn bucket. You put the popcorn in there. And then I have the straw because you put the drink in here.
How do you clean it?
I don't know. That's why I don't use it as a popcorn bucket or
That would drive me nuts.
because let me tighten you up real quick. The reason why I would never do that is because this actually I've got the little plastic tab here. This when you press a button shows the Fantastic Four logo on the wall, and then
Really?
this button plays the Fantastic Four theme song. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah, no, this is a very involved popcorn bucket. Yeah. Now I'll put you down.
So basically it's like the hiss where it shoots the Cobra logo onto the ground.
Yep.
It
It was really cool.
$300.
75.
Okay, so someone would pay $75 for that, and
Yep.
the hiss has a lot more, and yet people want it. You know what? Go back that HasLab, guys.
But yeah, go. But you know what? I didn't pay for this, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, go back to HasLab. I wanted to.
42 backers away. 42 backers away.
Wow. Yeah, I had to sell my HasLabs when we moved to pay for some of the moving costs, which hurt.
What having moving costs or selling them?
Both.
Both.
Both. I sold because my hiss was complete in the box. I never opened it up.
Oof.
I know. And then my dragonfly, I sold just again. I never got to open it up. I mean, I took it out of the box to like look at the packaging, but I took the figures and I just sold the dragonfly. I'm like, no, these figures are mine. Everyone can kiss my ass. I'm keeping this. So
I was just talking to somebody about it. When we were talking about it. We talked about it in the Circle of Jerks, and I asked. I say, hey, quickly, we're talking about HasLab here. I go, and I saw someone else post this after the Dragonfly came on, and I love the hiss. The HasLab was great. I don't care what anyone says.
it was, yeah.
And then the Dragonfly, and I love the Dragonfly. I love the helicopter, and I liked it. And then I got it, and I liked it so much more than I thought that I would. Like that, just there's something about it. I think because it's raised up in the air, you can do so many different types of shots with it, even over the hiss. The length of it, the size of it, but it's still, you can fit it, unlike the Rattler, which takes up so much space. And that's not me bragging on the Rattler because it looks amazing. I can push it up against the wall. It doesn't take up nearly as much space. That Rattler, good luck.
Because the wingspan, I think it's massive.
And I'm not complaining I have it. I still don't know if I'm going to leave it where it's sitting. But there was something when I got that Dragonfly out, I was just like, I didn't expect to like this much. I mean, I knew I was going to like it, and a matter of fact, I think it was actually Gun Bunny that said it in his video that he said, I didn't realize I was going to like this much.
Those are always the best things to get. Like when you get a figure, like and you unbox it, like I'm like, I didn't think I'd like it this much, right? Like I'm like, oh my, like my heavy duty, I didn't think I like my Cyclops, my X Factor Cyclops. I didn't think I'd love it this much. This is an amazing
Maximum Hulk. I don't care what anyone says. I've got my $60 out of it. I've had so much fun posing this figure, doing pictures with him, and I did not expect to. I was like, hey, I can get it early. I wasn't even gonna get them, and I was like, you know what? Let me just order them.
Yeah.
I did the review. The review did amazing for me, especially for Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And then I just started doing pictures. Now I don't have any other Hulks, so I can't speak on other ones.
Yeah.
So other people that said, hey, I have the Diamond Select. That's that's awesome. I don't have one. And it's actually going to be my topic for Monday, that it's kind of like, what determines your worth when it comes to a figure, right? Because I opened up, I had no intention. It's not that I had no intention of liking them. I thought like, okay, I'm going to have a Hulk for my display, and then I just started like, this guy's fun. And then like everyone hates the head sculpts, and you start swapping out the head sculpts, and next thing I know, I'm just enjoying it.
Well, that's like I ordered these off Instagram because I would like to, but like these, I forget who makes them. I've got it somewhere here, but like these you can put your figure in them.
Ed, please, Ed, tell me you're watching. I'm sorry. So Ed does my moderator, Action Figs, Ed. He does a show with guy Travis. He's one of the travesties, right? That's what we've named. That's what we've named everyone named Travesty. He's been working on Hexastack since before PowerCon, so over 2 years, and he still keeps trying to tinker with it.
Yeah.
Here, and that's not a Hexastack because his are going to be stacked. Like here's a hexagon.
Yeah.
We're like, why is it taking so long, dude? Like
elevatefiguredisplays.com. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, this is like I've got Cyclops, I've got Banshee on the other one, just like walking. I need to fix this real quick. No, these are fantastic. I'm like, oh, I can actually like pose my figures. Actually, Have them stand, have them fall over. It's fantastic. I love it.
I can't believe no one said anything yet. I hate stands. I won't use stands.
I
And I usually I'm pretty insulting towards people that use stands. And like they're always like, and Tony just told me yesterday, he's like, fuck it, I don't care what you said. I'm using stands. I'm tired of these figures falling over in the DTOF.
and that's honestly the only reason I got the stands is I don't use stands either. I've always had them just like standing.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that I wanted to have, like the Cyclops running.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, if I like the minute I like breeze past us, my shelf is gonna fall. Yeah, exactly. The goddamn domino effect. I'm like, all right, no. So this is So this stand is it's been let's see here. I've been collecting since 30 years, and I finally broke down and bought stands. There you go.
Oh yeah, and again, like if you watch my reviews, I'll say something about it. I've had Fei Long sitting here on one leg for months.
Oh, Jada's fantastic. You don't need a stand for that shit.
I have this guy has been sitting in a running position on one leg for months.
That's impressive.
He just sits there on this little gridiron. And he just sits there. I don't know if you can see him. Like he never.
That's impressive. That is impressive.
The bear stand's really nice too. I got the bear on one leg in my review. Not very high, but I did get the bear on one leg.
I get my Ronin in tomorrow, and then my 4.0 Snake Eyes comes in Saturday. I cannot wait to get that.
Version 4 is really nice. The darker blue, it works. It really does.
Like I saw him at Comic-Con, and I was like, "Oh fuck yes!" It looks so good. I love that. That's my like Snake Eyes. That was the first one I ever got. I didn't get many GI Joes. I had that one.
Like you're that aged for that.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's version 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's, and I understand, like, and I don't, again, hey, whatever you like, you like. But, and I even said, like, I have that Snake Eyes. I have the O-ring one.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have it. It must have been, I just like, hey, I was older. It's Snake Eyes. I'll buy them.
Yeah. Jeremy, no, I'm going to do an unboxing on the Cloud tomorrow. So I've been keeping it in the box just so that I can like, hey, I will tag you in it. So that you can see. Because I won the claw from Jeremy. And yeah, it was fantastic, and I was like, holy shit. And so so I will be doing my unboxing. I think tomorrow after my meeting, I'll be doing all my unboxings. Just knock them out.
The claws, I mean, I haven't done very much with it. I did the review. I haven't done any pictures or anything with it. It's a nice thing, but there's one huge drawback on it, and that's any male figure that has a plate carrier on them.
Okay.
They don't fit.
Gotcha.
So like Cobra Commander will fit, but if you have a Viper, not gonna fit. Gotcha.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, very disappointing. Especially considering they've mastered the seatbelt, like in the Rattler, the Dragonfly, and the Hiss that everyone hates, me included. Like those seatbelts are extremely frustrating.
Yeah,
Rattler's actually a little bit better, to be honest.
Yeah, I heard the Dragonfly was frustrating a bit.
Oh, so frustrating. And it doesn't help that Wild Bill's hair falls off, or his glasses fall off, or his guns get stuck in there, or the stick pops off. It's very frustrating.
You're like, oh my God. You're like PTSD.
I have small hands. I have small hands, so if I'm having a hard time, I don't know how. Like, my fat friends do it. All right,
they fat finger it. Like, damn it.
That's exactly it.
Damn it. Okay. Damn it.
Oh man. But no, yeah, no, I think like I love what you said about like you get stuff in and it's like I didn't stuff you're not thinking about like how much you're gonna I thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say that Cyclops.
No, like I love like this. No, like this Cyclops. I got it. I opened up like this. Like honestly,
I
I love like the optic blast. I pulled it out. I'm like, oh my god, this is all I want. This is all I want with my Cyclops. I don't need a lot. I don't need like well, give me a functioning optic blast, and I'll be happy. And I did it. This is fantastic. This is amazing.
see now that's making me want to go get that. Because I
Oh,
kept looking at that. I like the optic blasts. And even though my photography sucks, I enjoy doing it.
yeah,
And that's like perfect for the stuff. And especially I saw all the pictures of San Diego Comic-Con. I'm like, oh my God, like they just showed you exactly how to pose and display all your figures.
yep.
And I thought
That
you were gonna say that. I really thought you were gonna say that Cyclops, because I've been looking at him like I just like what they do with that.
it's fantastic. Like you just have him like running it. It's just a fantastic figure. It's perfect. It's a perfect cycle. I love Mofex. I've got both I've got X Factor, the White X Cyclops. I got 90s Cyclops. I got Batman Hush, Superman Hush, Nightwing Hush, Gambit, Psylocke. I love Mofex. This Cyclops was so good. I'm like, okay, there we go.
And then I guess you were gonna say that heavy duty there.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I pulled him out. I'm like, let's do this. And I started like doing my video. I'm like, this is so much cool shit on this. It's just fun.
See, and I'm like the exact. I have no connection to heavy duty.
Neither do I.
And what's funny is that like heavy duty, like when he started shipping, and everyone's like freaking out that heavy duty shipping, and I'm like, dude, like I thought everyone had him because I'd had him for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And he'd just been sitting over there literally with a machine gun because I don't like the desk. Although I have him displayed now with the desk because I was able to get him to stand with the desk in the last pictures that I did. I'm like, I'm going to stand him up in the display like that. But I totally forgot that like not everyone had him. Just like dial tone. People like, when my dial tone coming, I'm like, what? Oh, that's right. There was a shortage on the dial tones. And the people were like, people started saying stuff about me putting them in all my like all the videos, all the pictures. I'm like, well, now I'm just gonna keep putting them in because people are like, must be nice to have dial tone. I'm like, it is. It's real nice. I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, exactly.
That's the best feeling when someone's like, must be nice, and it's like,
Kind
it
of
really is.
Kind of is, yeah. Kind of is. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
And then you're like, oh, you want me to feel bad because you don't. I don't feel bad.
Like, sorry, not sorry. Sucks to suck.
Exactly. But again, like when I'm doing these reviews, I forget. Like I totally forgot. Other than I see people complain about the dial tone and not getting it because they got the other 3 figures that were in the way. But I totally forgot when it came to heavy duty because he'd been sitting over here with Tony. He'd been sitting over here with, I believe it was one of the Punishers, like the big M60.
Okay.
So he'd just been sitting over here, and like I'd see him, and I really didn't do any pictures with him or anything like that. And then when it started shipping, like Matthew Madsen was like, "Hey, my heavy duty is about to ship," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, I did that review like 3 months ago, and then I did it like 2 or 3 weeks after Shark Eyes did his." And you forget that, like, especially when it's a figure you don't play with very much, you know.
Yeah.
When it's a figure you play with all the time, you're like, okay, because again, for me, he wasn't all that much fun. But you know, some of these figures I will like. I didn't expect to play with. I played with Maximum Hulk so much more than I played with Maximum Spider-Man. But
Really?
Maximum Spider-Man is probably a better figure.
Okay, but again, it's like what what gets you, and sometimes it's the figure like, oh, I didn't think I'd like him that much. Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, like Hulk here, big bruising figure. Like you can have him do all kinds of things.
Yeah,
you're gonna have him Wolverine fighting him. You can have GI Joe fighting them.
Mhm.
I've had him fighting the Dragonfly. I was like, oh my god, dude! Like, let's
There's a lot.
bend up the Rattler, the Rattler wing, and have him on the Rattler wing like he's breaking it off.
That's cool. I actually do like that.
And I sat outside for like an hour posing it on the phone with Woody the figure addict while I'm getting eaten up by these stupid fucking bugs that were all in my front because the sun was going down. And so these 4 kids walk by, little kids, and the girl goes, "Did you make that?" I'm like, "No, but I sure did pay for it." There's this adult playing with toys outside.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I need to take because we have really pretty mountains right now. I'm like, I need to go put do shots with the mountains, like just because they figure out the time to do it. But there's so much that you can do out there. It's amazing.
Well, I don't know if you know who Legend Series is, Tony from Legend Series.
Mm-mm.
He always has a figure, and he said, "I'll go." He's like, "My wife and I will be walking, and I'll be like, I need to go grab the figure," and then he'll just be kind of setting it up because he's like, I see the perfect spot, and I'm like, I need to take a picture here. I gotta set him up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I don't do that. I've told Olivia, I'm like, hey, you want to go with me to the hill over here or go here and take some pictures? And she'd be like, all right. Well, it's great having a daddy's girl that would like go with you to.
Sure. The one time I've ever used a background I had when I got the Marauders version of barbecue. I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of fun if I did like I lit the grill. I put like a bunch of charcoal and got a big flame going, and I put barbecues in front of them. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I've come as a kid. I would have never been able to do it.
Yeah,
where I could mix and match lines, like G.I. Joe stayed with G.I. Joe, Star Wars stayed with Star Wars, Transformers, and when you start doing photography, it's kind of like, who cares? Like, I can mix and match. Now, I'm not putting an O-ring figure with a classified, unless if it's something specific.
Right.
Like if it's something specific but like, I'm not playing with them. I'm taking pictures, which is playing in many ways.
Yeah.
And, but now, like, I have no problem putting a Mythic Legions going up against it, grabbing a Mythic Legions horse. I don't know if you have one of those, but.
Oh, no, I don't. But I did that with, actually one of the best McFarlane figures that he's done in the past 5 years was his first Nightwing. I had him for the longest time fighting Daredevil. It matched up perfectly. It was great.
How did it match up size wise?
I had Nightwing kind of crouched down, kicking up.
Okay.
And I had
you did a crouching because like if he stood up, he'd be like,
oh, towering over. Yeah, it'd be like me talking to KJ, and and people think I'm being hyperbolic. I'm not. Like,
no, but he's like 6'6", I think.
Huh?
I think he's like 6'6".
Yeah, he's
Because we talked about it when I had him on, and
yeah,
I'm like, how tall are you? He was like 6'6". I was like, oh, shit, I didn't realize you were that tall.
Yeah, no, like I saw him at Comic-Con. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot how tall you are. Jesus, yeah. But I had Nightwing crouched, and I had Murdoch blocking a kick. Like, oh, this is fun. This is fun. Okay.
Yeah, when you can crouch them down, you can make that. Sometimes you can make it work.
Yeah.
But if you just stand them up, you can't fit that stuff with it.
Which is why I'm excited for Mattel to get taking it over.
If they go to 6-inch, which I think would be the smart thing. Exactly. But if you look at it, their Masterverse is built off 7-inch.
True. We'll see.
I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think going to 6-inch makes sense because if you're Mattel, you got to think, all right, this will make all the collectors have to come over here and start rebuying those figures they already had.
Yep.
From McFarlane.
Yep.
Plus, now you might get some of those Marvel Legends people that always want. I'm not a DC guy, but I've always wanted to have Batman and Captain America fight each other
Yep.
or team up. Now I can do it.
Which the DC Direct back in the day, that they were 6-inch, so they could fight. And it was much
But everything's changed now. Now you have better articulation and everything.
Yep.
But with McFarlane, again, that his scale is so fucked up.
It's insane.
I mean, and again, we've talked about this on shows, and we're like, it's fucked up within its own line.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Tony wouldn't fix all of it. Oh yeah, Tony loses his shit on that.
He said, "No, look, this is her this is the proper height for her, and for him, I had to boost him up, shrink her down, and then he's like, why is it so hard?" I'm like, I don't know, Tony. I'm sorry, buddy.
Hi, it's me. Says I need a picture of Punk and KJ standing next to each other. Punk always says people come in different heights. That could prove it. You can go look at my Instagram and see all of my Joe Fest stuff, and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, we were at when we were at Joe Fest, if I am correct, Spec had messaged Tony and said, I didn't realize how short Punk was. I know he says he is until he started seeing all the pictures. He heard a rumor. Yeah. Again, and I know people are like, we're always like, why do you say how short you are? You don't bother. I'm like, because people are going to see me. I can't hide it. I'm short. And I don't care. Like,
there's nothing you can change about it. You can't. The whole height thing has always been annoying because, like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. When you're on a dating site and a girl's like, if you're not at least 5'8", don't bother, and you're going, you're 5'1".
Yeah, you're like, come on
now. You're shorter than I am, and you're like, if you're not 5'11", don't even bother. And it's like, well, you just saved me a lot of stress because you're
exactly.
Exactly. Well, it's been 3 hours. You said about 2 hours, and I said, hey, these go.
You were lying, yeah.
You just start talking, and again, it's not like fun. I'm not grilling you with with questions.
This is a fun time, man. I had a lot of fun with this.
Well, thank you. I had a good time. It's nice to get to know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Like I said, you were the only person that I had not talked to that was on a toy kind of mood. But like we're friends on Facebook, and you would leave comments, and you like certain things, and that's the whole point of this, was to bring on people, that have supported me.
Yeah, I'll throw your channel on just to give you a view, because it's always like once I'm done with work, then it's like, all right, it's wife time. Like I don't get to like really watch like a lot of stuff on YouTube. It's like, all right, time to go watch. It's time for family time, right? So,
and that is fully understandable, because not everyone other than Matthew can watch every single toy channel that there is. I'm not joking, dude. Like, I think Ed probably fell asleep, but Matthew would be like, yeah, this happened. I was like, and he'll even make jokes about it. He's like, yeah, not everyone can watch every toy channel except for me. Like, but you do. I don't know how you do it, because you do work and you have a real job. Like, you're a doctor. Like, you have a real job,
You're watching, like, hold on. You're sick. Hold on.
That's well, he's a physical, not a physical therapist, but a physical medicine doctor. I don't know. He's really good at his shit too.
Okay.
Yeah, and Pop, who does a show with him, says, and Matthew still makes family time. It's because he probably makes his wife and daughter watch toy shit.
I don't want to watch this. That's too damn bad.
MCR, that is a great question. I don't know where Matthew is. But anyway, Bobby, thank you so much. I had a great time, and hopefully we can do some more stuff together.
I'd love to, yeah.
As again, like the first time I talked to you was a couple weeks ago when you jumped on after Circle of Jerks was over, and we just, look at this, here he is. Matthew says, I've been here the whole time.
in the shadows watching.
He's just waiting. Make sure no one gets out of line.
There you go.
Usually he pops in right away at the beginning. And then remember that's Matthew, not Matt. All right.
Yes, Matthew.
Don't call him Matt Matson, which I can understand. Like when you say Matt Matson, I fully understand why he was like, I hate that.
Matt. Like no. like at.
Yes, he was in incognito mode. But Bobby, thank you very much. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, look, I do post a lot of more. Let's see, I post a lot on my my regular Instagram is at Probex. That's my normal one. Geeks Have Game Instagram. On TikTok, I do quite a bit of reviews on there. And then YouTube, both Geeks Have Game on YouTube, and then every Wednesday usually I'm a toy kind of mood, unless the guys are doing like a G.I. Joe episode. I'm like, wow.
Oh, that's the last thing I have to say.
Yeah,
because I said, hey, if I hear you say fucking dreadnoughts one more time,
I have corrected myself. I know it's dreadnoughts. I know. I
said, I'm like, hey, I have bitched about it. I have to be upfront and tell you.
Nope. I have learned my lesson.
I wanted to scream it. Now, I'm the same guy that was like, people fucking like attack me when I would call it a clip and not a magazine. I'm like, dude, calm down. It's not a big deal. But here you're saying dreadnought, and I'm like, oh, God, not again.
Again. No, I know it's dreadnoughts. I know. I have learned my lesson. Because there's one group you don't want to piss off is G.I. Joe. Like, no, it's not that. I'm sorry. God damn, my bad.
I love it. So I'm glad I remembered that because I was like, I don't need to be like, you said you were going to say my lesson. Hey, that's all we can do, right? We have to learn something every single day.
Every day. If you're not learning, you're dead. There you go.
Well, I'm glad I'm not dead yet. So
exactly.
Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I had a fun time.
All right, everyone, go follow him. All his links are in the description, including his website that I didn't have in there, but I went and changed the things you can add while you're online. So.
Gotta fix it real quick. Shit.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I will see all the channel members tomorrow. Punks on Film for the channel members. And then Monday night, you know where you can find me. Take care.